Hey, my bad. Hey, we getting them back in here, man. Give us a second. We're getting to get lined up, man. Something went down there. Okay, boom. Switch back to Zoom. Switch to it.
All right. All right, there we go. Peace, family. I got two. There they go, right there. Boom, boom, boom. All right, now we good. We good now. All right, let me do this. Boom. All right, we good now, Rod. We ready. We live. We back hot. All right, we back hot, man. You want me to try to roll that clip again? See if it go through this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you.
Did the sister get back in yet?
Yeah, she right back on right now, I think. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, get up in the game. She got that spirit of Khalifa because hey, back in that transcript, she was in Germany arguing about that land, and they said that this lady's crazy. She's a Wonder Woman. She's wandering. She's just wandering around. They try to make her look like she was crazy in that transcript. So yeah, that energy is in that area, and it's definitely. All right, let me get that video pulled back up for you, so we can run that first part. Hey, get them back in the building. We had technical difficulties, but we got it squared away now. Get them all in the building, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. I think her mic still is not hooked up, or we can't hear. All right. It's another matriarchs. Let me know if you can hear it or not, Rod.
The cry of the mothers who know that this corporate greed has now got to go. This is the cry for your children whose futures are at stake. Which side of history will you participate?
Oh.
That's good, Aldi.
Let's
get to this.
You want me to go to the slides?
So, Sister Katherine, let's get into some history first, so I can give you some background on what we're dealing with. Right? Can you move into the camera so I can see you?
Can you see?
There we go. I can see you better now.
Oh. Can you see me now? I mean, is it better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we on this land that they now call the Americas. We the copper-colored, woolly-haired organic people to the land was reclassified by a legal fiction masquerading as our government. This legal fiction was an interim government installed by the Crown of England and the Pope. Now, the Pope has the unum sanctum that declared us all imbeciles and unfit to manage our own affairs anywhere they find us on earth. For them to institute their jurisdiction, he issued a proclamation called a discovery doctrine. The discovery doctrine was the passport to institute a doctrine called the white man's burden. Now, under this system, everything traces back to Uniform Commercial Code. The organic people of the land have nothing to do with that. They kept this a secret from us. As they masqueraded and pretended to be our government all over the land, they set up franchise interim governments to replace our tribal systems that was already here under a matriarchal oral tradition and followers of something called the Great Law. The Great Law is written in the hearts of all organic indigenous people to the planet. It's part of who we are. No matter what we do, we still gonna try to follow the Great Law. In modern terms, with this religion, they call the Great Law the law of righteousness. We call it God's law. Okay. Now, the trick, the $1 million trick, the little white lie that turned out to be the great white whale was that we would never figure out that if we use a paperwork, that's a trap inside of a trap. The paperwork is called the paper chain, right? And it's to bind you to the Pope's assertion that we are all imbeciles in law. The judiciary on the land are not our chiefs. The judiciary on the land is from the barrister accredited registry known as barristers and titles of nobility from Europe. They are masquerading as the purveyors of law and justice on the land, but they don't have the charter from the land. They have an interim governmental charter. There are no Article 3 courts. There are no constitutional courts. It's all a fraud. The fact that we discovered the fraud, we have to equally know the remedy. So we canceled all contracts that they call treaties for non-performance and fraud and deception on its surface, what they call prima facie in law. The reason why we can assert this is because when the challenge was issued, they could not provide a single charter they ever honored. Well, we call them treaty. They never honored the treaty, which voids the treaty for non-performance. During the course of this, there was a series of groups of interlopers who came with the system to replace the organic people that look like me and you over here. But they ain't us. They called Jacobites.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the reason they called that, because that means the supplanters or the underminers, those who came to replace which was naturally here. The grievances from the mothers is they turned our children against each other. Under the matriarchy, it didn't work like that. Right? So we got to pull up a piece of data, type that our children are coming up missing with no answer from any of these interim governments. So go and type in how many children come up missing in America annually. It's going to be somewhere into the tune of 800,000 children. This is one of the main grievances why the matriarchs are reclaiming the land.
Okay, so how are they reclaiming the land? Are they going to the mayor's
I'm
office?
finna give you the blueprint. We building up to that part.
Okay.
Estimated in the United States is 460,000, and it's let's see. I know it was like I think I seen one that said like a million or something was missing. I was like, dang.
There's still too many kids come up missing. Let's use the
Yeah.
number they got right there. They changed it. Let's use that number.
Yeah, 400,000 and 60,000, but still just in the United States, not counting Canada, you know, where they really
Right.
take the kids from.
Okay, that's almost 500,000 children a year that come up missing.
Yep. Dang, that's still a lot.
We have also discovered that Child Protective Services, Department of Family and Human Services, under the various guises across the land, are instrumental agents in human trafficking.
Yeah, we know that. I wrote the book on it. I wrote that in 2014. Yeah. Yep.
So we're going over the grievances, why the mothers are about to reclaim the land. Then we're going to go over to what we doing and how we get it done.
Oh, okay. So we're going to get to the point of how we're going to get it done. Yes, thank you.
Right. So the grievances is about they confusing the gender of the child. That's not under the matriarchal order. You are not supposed to interfere with the natural development of the child. You do not put adult responsibilities on a 4-year-old. And gender transfer is an adult responsibility. It's not the responsibility of a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10-year-old. That's a violation of the great law. Now, one of the things that we have to do once we discover that the Pope said we was emphasizing law, we have to put him on public notice that we have appointed the chiefs across the land and we are here to reclaim the land. So pull that up, that clip, Elder.
On YouTube?
Yep.
Oh, I got you. It's the one you can tell me with the indigenous, right? Right here.
Yep, the lady, yep, right there. So the clip he's pulling up, sister, is the clip where the Pope was put on notice that their contracts is canceled and the matriarchs are reclaiming the land. It was done in the public domain, so it can't be denied.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay. So they're reclaiming the land.
This is the eviction of what was formerly known as the United States of America. When she get done singing, what she say is most important that we go frame by frame and read the translation.
Yeah, that's a $5 ending. Okay. Well, see, you see how she's in anger? She says she's angry. She's angry.
They didn't show the translation. We gotta find another one, Elder.
Send me another one. You got another one?
You see her face? Look
Go
at
to the go to YouTube and put that what they got in there.
See, she's so angry. Look how she want to go up there and just fight. She want to fight everybody up in there. because she looks real angry. I feel her on that.
All of us is angry. All of the organic people on the land angry now. That's why some shit about to get done.
Well, I'm hoping that I hope it's not my way, because my way, you know, I hope it's more easier than my way, because my way is just straight to the point. We just start fighting. But your way might be easier. We might not have to beat nobody.
You ain't gonna have to. When I tell you what to do, the process is so simple. You just like, I wish I'd have knew that 20 years ago. This shit would have been over.
Hey, you see it, Rod?
I want to see the first one. I'm seeing the same thing.
Hold on, let me get this right there out the way. This right here is blocking it. All right, there you go.
I was like thinking of us just all going down there, like everybody coming to California, to Chino, California, going to that office, going down in there, and we start the promised
No, it's
land.
okay. So matriarchy is a specific government style. It's not democratic. It's not Republican. It's not communist. It's not socialist. Matriarchy is its own thing.
Hey,
Yeah,
she did translate it. Raw, it is translated in this one.
They only translating the song. They're not playing at the end when she putting him on notice.
Okay. Oh shit.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, you know, she a Fight Island Indian. I'm hoping she's speaking for us.
We're gonna explain all of that.
What you got next on that, Raw? You want me to go to that right here?
No, I'm finna find it for you so we can get the right one,
Yeah,
because
send
we
it to
gotta
me.
have her putting the Pope on notice. That's important.
Yeah, send it to me, Rod. We right. Hey, I feel your pain, Khalifa. I hear your spirit. I know you back. I know you angry about your land. I know you was angry back then about your land. The same way you are now, you was like that back then. I can feel the energy. I'm telling you. They wrote you off as crazy back then about your land. They just blew you off. I'm telling you. The same story, the same thing that's happening right now. This ain't nothing but a repeat for me.
They did write me off as crazy. They literally put me in a crazy school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was a child, because I said I was the creator of the promised land, and I guess you're not supposed to talk like that.
Yeah.
But,
so we feel you. We feel you. We know you angry. We know you. It's time. This is the energy that's hitting the planet. All of the people like Khalifa, all these people, this energy is back on the planet now. I'm telling you. And these people are hollering out, and they trying to make you look like you crazy or say that she's a Wonder Woman. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you can't even say, you know how they ask you, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? They do that on purpose to see which one is which one.
Yeah, target Big Mama's babies, baby's kids.
Yes, and I used to go over my friend house. Her name Bebe. She has 7 kids, and just really Bebe kids. And that's my best friend, and her mama name is Bebe. So you did a thing on that on Bebe, and it's really true. It's really Bebe kids.
Mm-hmm. They Bebe is Big Mama. That's Big Mama. Yeah. And so they target those kids because those kids the reason why they target those kids is target people like you, because you can call them on what you like. The kids and the Bebe kids were calling the people on their illusions at the World Fair. When they went to the World Fair in the movie, they were calling them on their illusions. The other kids was just going along like bots with the program. But the Bebe kids, they stood out because they can recognize. And then they even got targeted right when they came in by agents. If you go watch that movie again, that was the dude that did that movie is a high-powered alchemist. He did House Party 2. I can't think of his name right now, but he passed away. Robin, I think his name is Robin.
Yes, what they did was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where I grew up at, was they put the lead and the poisoning in Grand Rapids, Michigan, because they were trying to find the one who would bring them the most difficulty in the future right now. So they were trying to kill off the warriors in Flint. So they did Flint and they did Grand Rapids, Michigan, because they knew that it was somebody in either Chicago or Grand Rapids, Michigan that was going to come about, that was going to give them hell in the end. So That's why the water is messed up in Flint, because there was nothing but warriors over there. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And they didn't know which one was which. And then they came up with the summer camp. You go there for 2 weeks, and then they'll either abduct you and do stuff to you at the camp.
Uh-huh.
And so that's why when we go to the summer camps, and they were abducting children there, and they were doing tests on us over there at Camp Blodgett, Camp O'Malley, and things like that. You know, Rod Hayes, you know about the camps, right?
Yeah. So I just sent it to you on your try your phone, Elder.
I got it. I'm loading it up right now.
Okay. So when you said they knew somebody was coming from Flint or Grand Rapids or where else?
Yeah, of Chicago. They did the water. They put the lead in the water.
You know, watch this. I was born in Chicago. We moved to Pontiac, then we moved to Grand Rapids, then we moved back to Chicago, then we moved back to Pontiac. Pontiac's 30 minutes from Flint.
Yes, we did the same thing. You the same school as me. No, you went to Sigsbee and I went to Oakdale. That's right around the corner from each other. Right?
I went to Straight and Sibley Elementary, and I went to Madison Park Elementary in Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay. I thought you went to Sigsbee.
My sister stayed on Sigsbee.
Oh, okay. Because I used to go to Oakdale. That's right around the corner from Sigsbee. That's off of Wealthy or I think Cherry. Anyway, yeah.
So maybe we're gonna get it right this time, because this is the actual translation and the most important part of what she said, because we've been in continuity of government since January of 2020. Continuity of government falls under FEMA. When the process is being followed, FEMA is the transitional support team, and they're supposed to present to the mothers whatever they need for once they reclaim back their town. And that's what I'm gonna tell y'all how to do. You got to do it from the grassroots up.
To who?
Just play this. Let's check this out. Then we're gonna get into the questions and stuff. See what it say right there? Pause that.
It says, I'm about to look at it real good.
No,
man.
at the top.
Okay,
right over her
okay.
head.
And demand that our natural laws be reinstated.
Okay, that's the
I can
great
read
law.
this bottom part too if you want.
No, I don't want to read that. I want to
Okay.
read the translation of what she's saying right over her head.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so now, right here she's saying they're demanding to return to the great law. We want the great law reinstated, which is natural law. All right. What's the next frame?
Okay, I got you. Here's what she says at the end of the song.
This is the part that's the most important.
You are hereby served lawful notice.
You see that? This is called a public legal notice by oral tradition of the people of the land. That's the next line say.
All right. We, the daughters of great spirits and sovereign tribal members of Turtle Island. Oh, shit.
She said Turtle Island.
Damn sure did.
Okay, this is her putting the Pope on notice. When she say daughters of the great spirit, we call them the daughters of Isis. Which are the mothers of the 12 original earth clans from all over the earth. Okay, let's go to the next frame. Read what she say, Elder.
I got you. All right, here we go here. May not be concerned into concealed into any laws that is not the great law.
You see what she's saying is they cannot no longer, because she putting them on notice that if it's not the great law, we don't have to honor any of their laws that govern the jurisdiction of a legal fiction.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
And if they don't obey, then that's when we fight.
We ain't gonna have to fight. All you gotta do is ride with me, and we ain't gonna. I want to fight, but we don't have to fight.
King Kong shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now she say we may not be coerced in any law
Yeah, go ahead.
that is not the great law. That means that adhesion contracts are hereby void because they are coercion by deception. This cancels all of the contracts with the legal fiction in front of us. Everything, all roads led back to Rome to the Pope's front door. And this is her putting him on notice on our behalf. Now, it's my job as the Chief Pontiac, to find a solution from the right hand of the great Mother Earth, which is Michigan.
Okay.
To tell y'all how to secure the land at the grassroots level. The awareness of the mothers of what's taking place determines the rate by which we raise the great matriarchy once again. Okay, now it's clear all of the adhesion contracts, coercive laws, and deceptive laws written under the pretext of our government, when it's all been fraud the whole time. Now, what she say next? Because we gotta have chiefs ready to take this shit back. What that say?
We have appointed chiefs on our territory. Govern yourself accordingly.
That's called a warning that when the mothers exercise their jurisdiction and any government official interferes, the chiefs will have their head on the spot. It's non-negotiable.
Oh yeah, because I got Malibu, California too.
Look, it's a process. You might end up with more by following the process than you trying to get in the beginning.
Okay.
All right. Now, it's clear here that the chiefs are appointed on all our territories. There's no doubt about the chiefs being prepared. Now, when we get done, I had to identify before you as one of the matriarchs on the land exactly where all of the chiefs are right now and the people that she's talking about. Let the next reel play.
All right. Hey,
I think that might be it.
Quick question before you go to the next. What year did she do this? What year?
This was just done last year.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, now, so we've already met the first phase of our burden, putting the Pope himself on notice. Notice the agent is notice the principal. The public notice in the front of the face of the primary paperwork holder being the Pope. Right? Now, he's on notice. So what's the matriarchy is not going to use none of their courts. The only court y'all recognize is tribal courts.
Yes.
So all of these people masquerading as judiciaries on the land are imposters who carry titles of nobility to verify their imposter status. For the mothers to banish them from the land for deceiving the children, using legalese to trap us in a divide and conquer downward spiral. Skin color racism, religious controversies, political ideologies, social casting, all done to turn our children against each other so we can't reclaim the land.
But how? That means nationwide then. I mean, where is she at? She's not in Canada, is she?
She was in Canada.
Yeah, well, you know what? Right now they going door to door and they collecting guns in the white area.
All that's gonna come to a cease soon as y'all start taking power.
Well, they were taking away the police officers' guns, so yeah. So
they should.
So that it could be on a fair, even fighting plane. If the police can't have guns, well, we don't have any like that. So they're taking their gun. This is what's on Reddit right now. And then logic with reason. He's worried because he's in Canada and he want to make sure that they're not going to come for him. So they're taking the guns away in Canada.
Okay, now, Elder, pull up a map of Turtle Island, North and South. Or they just type in North and South America. We know it's Turtle Island.
And she said Turtle Island too. Wow, I'm shocked she said that.
Now, the legal formula that we about to go over step by step applies to every village in this jurisdictions called the Americas. So we want to pull up the map so we know what we're looking at when we talk about where do this apply. Now pull up a regular map. North and South America.
And she told the Pope that means that that they would have to alert, well, not really anybody. I was going to say they have to alert every mayor, but I guess the mayor would already know, wouldn't they? That's automatic. That's why she hiding. I think that's why she hiding.
We finna get to that because you flaming hot, but you don't know how hot you is on the trail.
That spirit, I'm telling you, the spirit of Khalifa.
I can't help. I'm an Aries though. Aries is, we just
Anywhere within these confines of this map right here, this can be done. What I'm about to explain to you. Okay, first things first, jurisdictional area, right? What city you in, sis?
I'm in Chino, California.
Okay, pull up a map of Chino, California. I'm gonna show you exactly how the matriarchy reclaimed the land. Exactly, to the letter.
Yeah, and
This is how it worked.
And I was born in Chicago and then raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
But you in Chino, California right now.
Hey, no, that's Shinnecock land too. That's Shinnecock land, the Khalifa tribe. That same land mass that you talking about in this area.
Yeah,
Trying to get a map of the city.
I got you right here. I'm getting like 2 or 3 of them. Okay, I like that one, and this one might be a good one.
And Chicago and California is one and the same. Also, we're from Ireland too. I can't explain it, but it's just a link to Ireland with people here in California and Chicago.
Okay, Chino, I got that map layout. I think I got a good one right here, Rod. Let me see, can I find one more before we get up out of here, just in case. That's a good map of Chino.
Yes, I'm indigenous to Chino. I know that. That's a fact.
I think this one might be a good one though. This one I got right here, Rod. I'm gonna blow it up for you.
Let's see what we get.
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, let me blow it up for you.
So I'm gonna use the map of your city as the foundational map, but anybody that can do the same thing, any one of the organics can do the same thing in every city they in.
This is a map. That's the best one that I can see of a whole layout of the whole city.
Okay, that's good. You
Okay.
see where those dark lines are?
Yeah, right here.
The dark lines are outlines, and then in there you got gray lines that's slightly bigger. They form into squares, right? The only ones, the business district does not count. But if you want to use it, I can tell you how to use it to add more influence to the women's circle. But you get you a meeting group for each neighborhood in the city, and you block them off on your map. Just like that, you can use the one they got now. This is a village. And when mothers feel like the village is not properly taken care of, they have to reclaim the village, and then they have to reinstitute how to run it correctly. And so what you do in each one of the blocks, the mothers in that neighborhood represent that block. They pick a spokesperson for their block of all of the mothers in their block. They pick from among themselves. Now, once you get all of the women, the mothers, because the prerequisite of a matriarch is you have to be a mother. And then as you move up in a matriarchy, your skill set determines your job function.
Wow, I'm the creator of the promised land. So
well, we finna bring it back home. So now once you get the women in each one of those, they'll show city council. But really it's your town meeting council. But they turned them into cities, they're towns.
yes, they
The
are.
city is the interim government. Their only function or job is to tend to the business of the city, because the real mayor, that's the mother of the city, is not sitting there. Okay, now, once the mothers in one city are all in agreement for those grievances that we vexed earlier, for the frauds and the deceptions, turning our children against each other, etc., that this land is a matriarchal land. The law of the land say that at any time the mothers choose to reclaim the land, all males must support them. That's the law of the land. We've been operating under the law of the sea. So once you get your city together, from among the city council, the one who's functional to run the mayor's office is selected from among them to be the mayor.
Yes.
Every neighborhood and household is represented. This is what you call true democracy.
Yes.
Now, once y'all get that together, you go to the city hall with the city council and call a meeting with the legal fiction that's the interim government.
Oh. And here I am. I'm gonna go in there and beat the bitch. Okay, I'd rather do it.
I would like to do that too. I would like to do that too, but this is just the way the matriarchy works. When you put them on, when you say we no longer in need of the service of the interim government, they have to give you the key to the city in the city charter.
Gotta be publicly known.
The first city to do it is the first city that FEMA is going to give all of their support to first. So once you get the charter, that gives you the funds that's already in reserve to take care of the needs of the town or the village. The city charter, the mayor has to hand it over to the mother of the community.
Oh, okay.
for the matriarchs. Now, if there is a female sitting mayor that's in support of the matriarchy, she already has the charter and the key to the city. She can claim it on behalf of the matriarchy without the drawn out process.
We're so when do we start?
Whenever you want to. It's at the will and whims of the mothers when they want to do this. We in continuity of government. All the only thing left to do is for the mothers on the land, that's the organic tribes. We talking these ancient tribes that's come back for every fucking thing they owe. That's us. The nappy head, woolly head motherfuckers. Right?
Okay.
We already identified the enemy within and we got rid of them motherfuckers. We know who the real friendly faces versus the belligerent motherfuckers. Everybody's been weeded out. Everything has been cleared for the women to step into their power without resistance.
It feels like that. It do, because they running from me.
They running because you're not following the process. They want to help, but you're not saying the right words.
I'm not.
You keep giving them fucking papers. That's the trap. That's why they running from you, so you don't trap yourself.
Trap myself?
With the paperwork. Block your claim by trying to liberate your claim with the paperwork.
Well, I don't sign their paperwork. They have to sign my paperwork.
It's the paperwork is the trap.
My paperwork.
It's been the trap the whole time.
Okay, okay.
They not our government.
No, I know that. Listen, I wrote up my own paper to tell the bitch to get out of the office. That's what I did. So,
but you didn't follow your organic tradition. You went by the tradition of the invaders on the land.
I went by my traditions on what I think to do is to bring the bitch by her neck.
We used to do it that way. That's more in line with our traditions. But Big Mama wanted me to get it all back, not just part of it.
Of course, that's the whole thing.
So they running from you so that you won't give them the papers to prove that the Pope was right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why they running in out. Okay, so
listen what I'm saying. Listen. They running from you because they don't want you to give the papers to them that validate the claim of the Vatican. When you serve them notice in written form, you are going by the order of the church. You're not following your oral tradition of a matriarchal people organic to the land.
Okay.
General consensus of the mothers and agreement. Once the town is fully represented by the majority of the mothers, y'all have access to request the key to the city in the charter.
So where's the papers?
Downtown.
Oh, the papers are downtown?
Listen, they using the charter to hold your money.
Mm-hmm.
The charter is the way they keep you from ever accessing your funds. The charter is an IOU in the mayor's seat, waiting on the rightful mayor to come get the seat. Nobody can cash the check.
Right.
The only way you access the check is by seizing the charter.
Okay.
When you seize the charter, it comes with the key to the city, which is supposed to be the key to Big Mama house in the town mother. That's why it's always bigger than every other key.
Yeah, because I heard about that.
Big Mama house had the big doors, so Big Papa don't bump his head. So we had to build them with tall pillars. Then they told us Big Mama house was the big house and that Big Mama's ranch was a plantation.
Well, what if they run from these papers? Then
You
what?
ain't giving them no papers this time. They already got the papers. You relieving them of their duties.
Right. See, that's right. Right. Okay, so
Okay, the law of the land is what you applying. You not applying maritime law.
no. Right.
So when the mothers are assembled in any town, because a matriarchy rises from the ground up, it's called a hijra, a march of the matriarchs. Begins, it leads with the march of the mayors. The most powerful seat right now is the mayor seat anywhere on the land, because at any given time, one of y'all relieve the legal fiction, the interim government of their duties, because you can run the government of the village now. You can feed the village, you can clothe the village, and you can house the village. Because when you get the charter, that unlocks the money that they kept sealed with the 13 central banks.
Okay, so those papers you're talking about, or right, where do you get those at?
They already got them.
Then how do we get?
You still trying to serve them according to their jurisdiction.
How do I tell her to get the fuck out? How?
I just told you.
Okay, well,
Listen, I'm gonna go over it again. Because you got to go over step by step until you get it to click.
No, listen. You said papers. You said it's downtown. What papers are downtown? You mean
The only thing they have is the charter. The charter is just the certificate that holds your money up.
Okay. So I get the charter. So I request for the charter, right?
You relieve them of their duties. They give you the charter automatically.
Okay, so then what do I tell them to relieve them of their duties? What do I tell them? What do I say?
You got to go with your city council.
That this is her. You're right. Okay, you're right. It's her. Okay,
Them people are interim. Somebody just acting like they in charge of your house until you remember how to put the house back together.
Okay, so this is the city council right here. This is her right here. She's right downtown. Okay, now what do I tell her?
That's the mayor.
Yes, mayor, city council, same thing. Trust me, believe me. They're one and the same. They're right there. I've been in Chino. If they're one and the same.
Go back to the map. Look at the map again.
It's right. Okay.
The mothers in the town, any given town on the land, it's the same apply in every town. When you have a group of mothers from a neighborhood, they pick a mother to represent that neighborhood. When all of the neighborhoods is represented, which would include all households in the town.
I don't know any
Then each one of the neighborhood spokespeople are the representatives of their district. And the spokesperson that they select relieves the interim government of their duties of running the government of the village.
Okay, that's right. So then I'll just tell her that then, right? How do I tell her that? How do I tell her that?
You have to have your assembly set already.
I don't have assembly. It's just me and it's just me.
You can't do it by yourself. It doesn't work that way. That's why the matriarchal system has everybody represented, so no one person is bigger than the whole.
Okay, well, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just, I guess you guys are gonna be waiting forever. I'm gonna be getting with her to get her out this office.
I just told you how to get her out. And you want to
you
use their system to get her out, it don't work.
You said I had to get a bunch of women, a bunch of mothers around here. I don't know
your
anybody.
Your village is your town, whatever town you in.
I don't know.
If the village doesn't support you, then you are not the leader of the village, and the village can't reclaim their shit.
I don't know nobody here. There are Mexicans and Black people that I don't know, and there's white people here. I don't know these people.
Well, there's women organizing groups all over the place. You have to do the work. It ain't gonna manifest without no work.
What do you mean? I am doing the work. What do you think I'm doing?
I'm just telling you the process. You don't have to like it.
Yes. Listen, I'm doing the work, but your process is trying to get some females that I don't know. They're lost. I'm the only one that's conscious here. Yeah, because
That's the process to raising the matriarchy. You have to start with one town.
It takes one person to tell these people to do whatever, right? Doesn't it take you have the paper, you said the papers, right? Let me see the paper so I can give it to her and say, oh, here's I'm the matriarch or whatever, and I'm claiming the land. Yeah, and then she'll do what you say, right? She'll do exactly what you say, because you said that if I say these words, then she'll do exactly what you say, huh?
It's not saying the words alone, it's saying the words with the support of the people in the village.
Village. If I say village, they're gonna, what village, man? They're gonna no.
Every city has been repurposed from a village into a city for the purpose of administering interim government.
Right. So there are something to go with that to give them, to let them know, isn't it?
If you do not have a government to replace the system can't be replaced. You have to build a new government from the grassroots.
I did. I wrote the book. I have 2 corporations on it. What? Let me tell you what's happening. What's happening is that they're racist and they don't want me to have the land. And that's the bottom line. And the bottom line is that the whole time we've just been sitting here and we didn't go in the office, because if you don't do the work, like physically go there and say, hey, like I'm doing, I'm like, hey, bring your sheriff or else. I mean, we've been sitting around doing nothing. So that's why we don't have the promised land. That's the reason why, because we're just sitting here and we're talking about something else. Like,
I've been putting in work.
Where?
I got a whole catalog of work I've been doing to try to find out, first of all, why we don't got our shit.
Right. Okay, but now who are you gonna say that to? Who?
Well, first I got to find out. I had to find out who got our shit.
It's the mayor. What are you talking about, man? It's the mayor. He's the one that's got the poison in your water. He's the one that got real estate agents that's telling you about building up this apartment or a jail or a prison system in your area. It's the mayor. What you mean you can't find? You don't know who it is. It's the downtown City Hall building.
Who put him there?
That's why they say, hey, vote for me, president. That's why they put a president, so you won't look at the mayor. That's why.
I looked at the mayor. I know the mayor is the matriarchal.
Listen, he's the elephant in the room. He is the elephant. He's the one that got us fucked up. It's the mayor. Yeah, listen, he's the one that's poisoning the water. So it's not the president that you look at or anything else. It's the mayor. That's who you go to. You literally have to take 30 people.
And that's why it's called the March of the Mayors, because if you don't have a government to replace the government, they can't go nowhere.
Well, it's not about a government that you have to have. What does that mean? The gutter wars didn't say, hey, we got to have a government. No, the gutter wars was about just fighting and knocking their teeth out.
No, it wasn't just about fighting and knocking their teeth out. We was putting up a resistance, and tribes came from all over to fight the Gullah Wars.
Yeah, we were the Gullah
Wars. It was a protracted struggle, and it's just now coming to a close.
What's coming to a close?
All of this bullshit.
Yes, we know that.
But you got to rebuild your government. Read the Indigenous Rights Act. If you don't use your system to overthrow their system, you part of their system, and you're gonna be stuck fighting them in the treadmill. It's a never-ending cycle with them people. You have to go back to your original system before they came.
Okay, well, what if I'm in the original system where I have to see them personally and be like, hey, I'm the original system. Either get off the fucking office and that's it. I mean, that's what you do. Because listen, whatever papers you give them, they're not going to listen to you. Now what? So listen, the papers that you give them, they're not going to listen to you. Now what?
I ain't finna give them no papers.
Okay, well then what you going to do then? What you going to give them?
I'm going to follow the process.
What process?
The process of restructuring the community so we can relieve the interim government of their jurisdiction.
All you got to do is call them on the phone. Hey, you got 30 people. Okay, let's go down to the office. And then you got to go down to the office, to the mayor's office, huh?
That's not the process.
Well, what's the process?
I told you the process. You just don't like it.
I do like the process. I love it. It's just, it's the same thing. We got to go to the, okay, well then what's the process then? I mean, I don't, where you go from here?
Listen,
if the mayor is right
village is on the, if any town is on the same page, y'all can relieve the interim government. I'm telling you how to organize the town to establish your own city council so you can relieve them, and on their way out, they supposed to leave the key to the door and a certificate to the wealth.
Okay, so we're gonna go do that then, huh?
It's up to you whether you do it or not. I'm just telling you how it works.
Okay, and then, so how do I do it now? Okay. Is young elder, do you understand what he's saying? Because I'm confused. I don't know what to do. Do I go there? Do I not? What do I say? To who? Who am I going to say it to?
What I'm getting is that the paperwork part is what I'm looking at. Like, okay, what's the paperwork? I say do it all. Cover all the T's, dot all the I's. But I think the paperwork system will trap you into their system because they've been trying to get people to vote. And when you vote, it traps you into their system. So the paperwork thing is to, okay, they look at you like she don't know what she's doing if you going with the paperwork thing. But so I think what you trying to get to explain to Rod Hayes is, how do I go? Do I go and choke them out? Just go in there and start choking motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Or do I go in there and sign some paperwork? Do I go in down there and complain and shake my fist in front of the chief of police? What do I do? So I see what you're saying. Like, so what I got from it is, man, I'm really lost too on the part. I'm trying.
Okay, let me
Go ahead.
Let me say this. We the organic people of the land. We was already here and we already ran government before we was ever invaded by colonizers and settlers. Now we have been invaded and colonized. They've set up interim governments everywhere we go so that they can assume a jurisdiction. Now, they set their system up where if we try to follow their system to get free, it's like digging a tick in deeper and deeper with a paper chain. But if we go back to our original oral traditions of a matriarchal culture, and we follow the same steps we would in any other village, some cities are bigger than others. Some cities are smaller than others. But the only way to relieve a mayor is by the general consensus of the town. It's the same as voting them out, except they're an interim government. So you don't have to vote them out. You have to raise a matriarch in the town.
That'll never happen.
Yes, it will.
Not here.
Probably not. It'll happen, but it'll just probably be later.
Hey, I see what you're saying, Rod, because I see what you're saying now, Rod. I get what you're saying because okay. So in 1992, that when they signed that indigenous rights thing, this don't really tie in this with paperwork, but I'm saying they had a petition. Well, they got a certain amount of people to agree with you. You got to have a certain amount of people that's on the same wavelength as you, because it's dealing with, say, like they say, the people of Chino, or the people of Chino. So you got to find a certain amount of people in your city that agree the same thing as you, and then y'all go down there with a petition or something like that say y'all all agree as one that these people got to be uprooted. That's what I think Rod is saying. The same thing that they did.
Exactly what I'm saying.
It's a sister already did that already, and down in Slidell, Louisiana, she claimed land back like that. Yeah.
When you read the Indigenous Rights Act, it tells us to use our oral tradition to go back to our ancestral ways and to apply tribal law on tribal land, right? The only thing at that time that was passed that wasn't tribal land was Washington, D.C. We claimed that with a totem ceremony in the public. That was claiming the 10 square mile crash site that they had us in the world court under, claiming that we crashed our landmass into their ship. So they had us under the salvage laws so they can apply the admiralty jurisdiction on the land, which tied us into uniform commercial code and paperwork. But if we go back to the system of government before the paperwork, and we start relieving the interim government of running the town because the townspeople want to run their own town, they have to step down.
They're not gonna step down because you say so.
Ain't nobody it's the town's decision.
That's what I'm saying. The people, if you get the people together on the same agreements as you,
It's the town's decision. You know,
Right.
if you want to relieve them of the
That's what I'm
capacity
saying.
of interim government, it's the townspeople who make that call.
I know that. That's what I've been trying to tell you. But it's like, if you don't have anybody and you haven't done it yet, so did you claim your town yet? Did you do
Nobody didn't have a process, and I'm not a matriarch, or I'd have been did.
and I'm telling you, it's stipulations with that too, because when they find out what you're doing,
If you could find a female to do it, then you could have did it then, right?
My job was different.
You just find a female that is the matriarch, and then you just have her to appoint the town as the town people, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? You just find
I'm telling y'all, okay, so listen to what my job was. Let me tell you what my job was. My job was to find out why my sisters wasn't running this bitch. That was my job. And when I find out the problem, find out who's behind it, and then I had to find the solution to the problem and give it to y'all in the public domain. We are already in governmental transition from the work that I did. I already canceled their contracts July the 6th, 2019. I did the heavy lifting, but now it's time for the heavy lifting. It's time for what was already done to come into reality. And it's up to, are you really one of the people of the land, or do you just want a piece of land? We only going to get our shit back by using our system. Our system is to relieve the interim government. We can't use the interim government system to do that. So discovering what they was doing to trap us, now I have to tell you how to exercise your superior jurisdiction as a sovereign. First of all, if you don't have a particular group of people in a town, if you want to separate the people, then it's going to be difficult to get that town together to remove anybody from government, let alone an interim government that don't belong there.
Oh, I forgot. I do have people. I have my Patreon people. I have subscribers. I have people that would, because they know my address now. And so I do have the people, and I have them on the petition here. I have them signatured. There's signature papers here. There's like a whole bunch of people in here. So, I mean, I do have it. I have people. See, these are signatures of people. See, I got a whole town of people here. So, and it's my papers. It's not any other papers. It's like I made the papers because I wrote it from the ground up, like you've been saying. I did it, and so they're running from me because they have to be locked up, and they don't want to be, and it's their time to die and shit. And that's what it's really all about. And so you get this in the mail, and when you get this in the mail, you just bid on your land, and then you get the land. If they say no, then it's a crime. It's a crime. And so, you know, that's just what it is. And that's what it is, because nobody has
And
gotten it yet.
where did
Yet.
where did you find supporting law on that?
The supporting law.
I mean, what are you citing in there to say that it's a crime?
Well, this is a public hearing notice, and you get this in the mail, and they have to ask you whether they can put things here. They have to have your permission. And it seems to me that they're only asking white, Mexican, and Chinese people that are foreign to the land.
Where did that paper come from?
It comes from the city mayor's office, and it goes to your address. It mails to your house, and they have to ask you if they can put things in your land. They have to have your permission.
So you're talking about establishing zones for construction, right?
No, it's about it's called community. It's urban community and planning, urban development and planning, and you just bid for the land, and it's free. They give you $5 to $50 million to develop your land, and they don't want you to know that. The mayors don't want you to know that, because they have to ask you for permission. And everybody gets this in the mail. And when you open the doors to the mayor's office, it's right here on the wall. You just take the paper and you give it to the registry. You say, I want to bid on this land right here where I live at. And then the first thing they're going to ask you is, are you a resident? And you're going to say yes, because you're over everybody. You're over the mayor, because you live in the area. They can't put anything. They can't put a store without your permission. I went to school for it. I know what I'm talking about. So the reason why they're not listening to me is because it's just me. And yet they are listening to me, because they had to get Kim Lee out of there, because the mayor was hiding behind Kim Lee the whole time. She's running away because she knows I'm right. She has to give me this land right here. And then I appealed it. I appealed the decision. When I appealed it, then I got an eviction notice. Why did I get an eviction notice? Because I appealed the decision and now that's a crime. So now they either have to get out. It's just as simple as that. This is free. Everybody can bid on their land. You can too. You know the city council building that you see the white people, old white people there. They're telling them, no, I don't want this here, and I don't want it. That's why their areas are nice and our areas are fucked up, because they go to the city council building and they say, no, I don't want this there, and then it won't be there. This is why they didn't build nothing right there, because I stopped it. I said, no, you can't put nothing there. I want the tree there. I want the promised land here, so we can connect it to all states, so everybody can have the promised land in their state, in your state. And it's real simple. So when you talk about you got to gather these women up to do this and that, it's like, what for what? Just you have to go to the city hall building and just bid on the land. Now the reason why they're saying no, and the reason why I'm saying this, it's a crime, is because it is a crime. You can't give me an eviction notice because I bid for the land. You have to give me the land. So they have to give it to me. And that's it. This is simple as that. It's free. This is free. And they don't want you to know that. But yet they put the pressure.
Okay, but what I'm trying to find out about the paper you're talking about, because it might be different from town to town, because some of their laws vary from town to town. I'm trying to see what the paper is. What is the legal claim in the paperwork?
What do you mean legal claim? It's
what's being cited as the authority?
Oh, you are a resident. You are a resident or a government contractor. You can only be a resident for you to put something down here. Somebody can't come from somewhere else. You have to be a resident in order for you to put your land there, and they have to ask for permission for them to do it. And they can't do nothing without your permission. Now, the reason why it's a crime is because they didn't let you know that. That's why it's a crime.
What's the crime? What law is it breaking?
Because it's a crime because the mayor didn't tell you that
okay, so according to this, because you're using their paperwork, according to their system, if it's a crime, it has to be a breaking or violating some of their laws or rules of conduct.
Okay. It's called urban planning and development, and you can bid on your land because
I got that part. I understand that. I'm trying to find out, so if the police, if they write a warrant out, what they gonna say you did?
Oh, what? No, it's your land. You claim your land, 640 acres, it's all yours. So you put whatever you put.
You keep saying it's a crime if they don't do it. I'm trying to find out what crime it is.
The crime is that if I get an eviction notice, they supposed to go to prison. That's the crime. I'm not supposed to get an eviction notice because I'm bidding for the land. That's a crime for them to do that. They can't do that. That's the crime. They have to give me the land. That's it.
Is it any eviction notice that's the reason they evicted you because you bidded on the land?
Yes. Of course they're not going to say that. What? What did you say? They're not going to say that. They're not going to say that. No. They're going to lie and say they're going to lie. Of course. But then see, that's the crime, because it's like, why are you lying? Why are you giving me an eviction notice? Just give me the damn land. And see that it's it. That's it right there. So the only thing that I would have to do is to go in there personally and see her personally and say, give me my bid. I rightfully bid it. How come you can give it to white, Mexican, and Chinese, but you can't give it to me? Why? Then she can give it to everybody else, but she can't give it to nobody that's this color. You don't even know about it. This is the crime, because it's supposed to be advertised. Everybody's supposed to know how to bid for their own land in their own community. You can't put a church there. If they say, I want to put a church there, you have to say, no, I don't want that church there. And then they will not put that church there. They won't put the church there. I'm just saying.
Right. That's under right, but that's under zoning and development violations in the city that I'm in. If you say that you don't want the church there, and that's zoning, that's under zoning. Right now, I'm trying to figure out, because you keep saying if they don't do it, or if they do, it's a crime.
Yeah, right. If they don't give you that land back, if they don't give you your land that you bid, that's a crime. They have to give it to you. So what's happening with me is that there's a extreme violation of my rights right here. They're supposed to give me that land, and that's it.
What rights do they violate?
They're not. They gave me the eviction notice. They gave me an eviction notice for me bidding for my rightful land. That's the violation. That's against the law. They can't do that.
So, okay, so now if I was to say that they served the eviction notice I bid on property, that would fall under retaliation, and I would have to go that route. But then you would have to be able to draw a connection.
Retaliation. Yes, and we filed.
But if they serve me an eviction notice because I'm in a rental property and I haven't paid in 90 days or 60 days or whatever the case may be, and I just so happen to bid on the property, that's not conclusive enough to say for sure it's retaliation.
What are you talking about? Listen, we're talking about you being indigenous to the land, and you going to the mayor and you saying, hey, I'm indigenous to the land. Did you know that? Okay, well, they already know it. Then you say, okay, I'm bidding for this land right here. And then they have to give it to you because you listen, this is the thing here. What?
Can I add something to this right here? Because I think this right here might play a part in it. When you are you under the artificial person? Because did that play a part in the artificial person and the real proper status person?
No, listen, please. I went to college for it.
Go ahead.
You all you got to do is just be you, just be yourself, and say, hi, mayor, give me the paper so I can bid on the land here. And then they're going to ask you, are you a resident? And then you're going to say yes, and they're going to say, what's your address? And they're going to write it down, and they're going to give you a paper to bid on it. And all you do is just write up one-page proposal on what you want to do to your land, because they're saying, well, we're going to put a church and a store here. And then you say, no, I don't want that story. I don't want that church here. I want something that's different, because everything else is cloned. It's cloned buildings here. So they're asking you, well, what is your opinion? So we can put it down here. So it's okay, well, I want a big tree for the promised land so people can go into the big tree or whatever. Now, when they were going to say yes, but they found out I was this color. So now they don't want it. They don't want me to have this promised land here. That's a crime. And these are Chinese and Mexican and white people. That's the crime. This is your right. You're supposed to bid on the land. It's yours. This is mine. And this is the crime. And you just be you. You don't have to claim no land rights, whatever. You are indigenous. It's your right. It's your duty. Did you know that before they came here, it was called a treaty? Okay, so before that, they were begging for your land, and they have to ask you to put shit where what goes. They can't put stuff there without your permission. That's the law, and it's free. Okay, now the mayor don't want you to know that. That's it.
It sounds like you got a long, drawn out conflict with these people.
Yeah, it's been 2007, but I wasn't bidding for the land in 2007. This is recently. But what I'm saying is that no one knows that you can rightfully bid for your land and they have to give you $5 to $50 million to develop it. They don't, you guys don't know this. See, you don't know this. You're going off.
I know.
And you know, and you going to have to gather some women together. And no, just bid for the land right here. That's it.
No, I'm just telling you the rule in the matriarchy.
Right. And then when they say no to you, that's when you take your family members and you say, hey, you better give me this land, and they have to give it to you. That's it.
Used to be that all of the towns or villages was one family. But now, in the acceleration of cultural differences on the land, the communities have become amalgamated with people from all over the world. All of the divide and conquer strategies that they used against us have to be overcome. All of this stuff is underlining, separating us, one person from another, for varying different reasons. That's why we don't even want to talk about trying to get a city, a town, a village on one page, because it seems like an insurmountable obstacle when all it is a series of, hey, how you doing? What do you think about this? I don't like that shit. Me either. Let's go see what they say. We all don't like that shit. Well, let's get rid of it. This is how you get rid of it. When the general consensus of a town's mothers under a matriarchy feel that the children are not being properly maintained by the town or village, they assemble, go to the town, and change the government. You don't want to start with from coast to coast, because the system would be very difficult at the upper levels without a drawn out conflict between people clashing with their neighbors under the pretense of the government maintaining law. But when you use small towns and villages to alert the system of mothers of what's taking place, this is spiritual in nature.
Okay, yeah.
It's application of spiritual law to bring about change in the physical world.
Yeah, it's right. So right here it says public hearing, and all you do is just pick it up at your local mayor's office, and then you say, I would like to bid for this land right here, and then they're going to give you the land. Now, if they don't, then it's a violation against your human rights. You have a right to go.
What if one of your neighbors is also bidding on the land?
No, they're not, because they would have already. They're not bidding for the land. Okay, it's just whether you want to claim your land or not. I'm just claiming my land, 640 acres, and what I do is I just write. But it's getting pretty late, so I have to get off this thing here. But anyway, I just write up the letters that the mayor has to know how, and they have to know that this is the law that they already have in place for everyone to bid and claim their 640 acres of land, which I bid for right here, and that's it. So yeah, and then so they already know the law, and they already know that they're in trouble, and so that's just what it is. They're in trouble, and that's why she's running. She's running because she's supposed to give me this land, and that's it. That's just the bottom line, and I'm supposed to go to the promised land. So
besides you, who else she in trouble with?
What?
I say besides you, who else she in trouble with?
Who else she's in trouble with?
Uh-huh. I see she in trouble with you because you're ready to take your belt off and spank her boo-boo.
So yeah, well, she's in trouble with the doctor, but all of them are trouble with the doctor. But what I'm saying is that they're wrong. These are the courts. These courts are criminal. These are criminals, and they were supposed to tell us about the urban planning and urban development that we all have a right to bid on our own land for free. It's free. And this is why you have apartment buildings. This is why you have prison systems, because we didn't say anything. We didn't say, no, I don't want that police building here. I want a park. This is why it's beautiful in Chino, where I'm at. It's Ivy College Park at Ivy. And it's really, really beautiful here. You want to know why it's beautiful here? Because the city council bid it on the land, and they put things here, parks, nature centers. because that's what they want. And this is a rich area over here. So they want, you know, like a upper middle class area. The rich area is right here where Snoop Dogg and them stay at, right here at this, over this hill right here. So and only white people, Mexican and Chinese seem to be able to bid on the land, and we're not able to. That's a crime. That's a crime. We have to stick to that. Just stick to that. That this is a crime. I'm supposed to be having this land here. Let's just focus on that part. Focus on the fact is that the mayor is a criminal and she has to give me that land. That's it.
Hey, Elder, type this in on Google. All crime is commercial.
Yes, we know it's a crime. It's a commercial crime. But what I'm saying is, but isn't it so easy for you to just simply bid for land? I mean, that's easy. You don't have to pay for anything. That's and they don't tell you that's
I'm about to show you something that I'm not sure if you are aware of. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because they get paid for committing crimes. In the jurisdiction of the public domain, in the legal fiction, all of the crimes they commit, this law pays them for committing those crimes. And if it's not, listen, if it's not for public outcry, the worse the crime is, the more they get paid. This is the law.
Oh yeah, listen. You know, I don't know which one of it. Wishbone, Busybone, one of them bones on the thug bones and heart. He said that he had to sign a contract to keep people in prison, and every time a person goes into prison, that's like $50,000 or $70,000 per inmate. So they get that money. So yes, they feed off of us, right? That's why.
I ain't even talking about the prison industrial complex. That's another animal.
Yes, I know. Okay, well, the whole thing, I'm just saying the whole thing is a crime. So they're just criminals. There's no negotiation. I'm not negotiating. I'm just saying, this is the land that I bid for. Give it to me or else we're going to come in there. That's all I'm saying, because there's nothing else to do. What is there to do when you already know they're criminals and they're trying to kill you? What is there to do? What you going to negotiate with now?
Well, if you notice across the land, they've been changing laws in relation to retaliation against them for running up in people's houses. Right. So they becoming more laxed on that for a reason. Remember, we've been the target for 400 and some years.
Yeah, I know. See, this is the thing here. It's just, you know, we just have to get to the point. The point is that they have a law where you're supposed to bid for your own land, and you have to bid for your own land, and they can't put nothing in your 640 acres, and that's the law. But they don't want you to know that. So nothing else matters. Nothing else matters but this right here, because you have to say, hey, you have to respect this, just like they respecting what you're saying, right? They got to respect what you're saying. They got to respect this. Because
but listen, if you write and they duck you on it, they getting paid for that. That's what you need to be aware of when you want to know why they keep lying to us. They get paid to duck us and to lie to us.
Yes.
It's a lucrative business to deceive the organic people on this land.
Yes, we know that. That's why I'm saying, like, it's very easy. This is probably the greatest thing that I've ever said to anyone, that this is free. They don't want you to know this. It's 640 acres here that's entitled to you right here. And you just have to bid on it and say, I don't want this church here. See, there's a church that they want to put here, or there's a building, I don't want that here. So now they stopped. They didn't even do the construction on it. They went over there across the street to do it. They can't put nothing down there because it's mine. And that's the greatest thing, isn't it? Isn't it wonderful?
Hey, you know what I think? I think that you should do like I said and get several people that agree with you. By yourself, you 2 or 3 more get better. Then you get people that agree with you in your city that, hey, that's our land, or this is our land, like the same thing. I think that it'd be a better approach with more people agreeing with a movement. You had your own movement.
What I'm saying.
If it's not a movement, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm coming on your show to say that to everyone that's watching, did you know this is free? Did you know? So you can get your group of people and you go to your city mayor, and it's the wall right here. Pick up this paper. It might be a different paper, but it'll say public hearing notice, or go to the counter and say, where's your public hearing notices? I want to bid on my land right here. And then they're going to ask you for your resident. And that's it, that you're a resident. They just want to make sure that you live there, because no one has a right to put things there if they don't live there. And that's the law. And it's real easy and it's simple, it's quick. You don't, and young elder said, just get, and he's right. That's why I was trying to tell everybody, just get your people together. You don't have to pay no more rent no more if you own your own land and you done claimed it through this public hearing notice that they don't want you to know about. They don't want you to know this. This is why she's hiding. She's hiding because I went to school and I know about this. Yeah.
Hey, what you need? Hey, what you need?
You don't have to go to school for it at all. I'm sorry, what?
What you need is what we call in a street gang, you need some pull. The pool, you need some pull, right? Tell you how you get your pull. You got to get a whole bunch of people that gonna say the same thing you saying, and then that's gonna make them have to do something. Then they're gonna make them have to move, because they ain't listening to you. They could just write you off as crazy if nobody agree with you. You see what I'm saying? The city.
Young elder, thank you. This is why I'm on your platform, on your guys' platform, to say, hey, we got to get together. Listen,
that's what the whole underlying theme is. We got to get together.
Here is the address. Here's the address where I'm at. Listen, they supposed to give me my land. Anybody can come over to this office and meet me. And we go down to that office and be like, give me her land. And she'll know exactly what you're talking about. She will know exactly what you're talking about. She's going to give you this land. And here's the address right here. This is where I live at. So I need pull. I need people. That's all I'm saying. I need women. I need men. Look, because listen, check this out. When we get it, then everybody move up in here. And this is what happens. They have to be accommodated to be relocated. Everybody here has to be relocated. And they do it all the time. It's urban planning. That's what they do. And they relocate the people by accommodating them out where they pay them $5,000 to move out. And then our people move in, and it's just as simple as that. And that's how you create the promised land. So through all this stuff that we talked about, it really boils down to us getting a group of people, like Elder said. He was absolutely right. And this is why I'm on your platform, to just show you what you need to know. It's very simple. It's free. Just get your people together and go to the city hall. You don't have to go. You don't have to go. Just email your city hall place and tell them to mail you this. Tell them to mail this to you in your mail, and then you just email your proposals of what you want to do with that land. See, so I had to appeal it. This is the appeal, okay? And they're ignoring me because I'm only one person. But if I had a group, I would have the promised land right here, and everybody would have it, because that's why they call it.
Keep in mind, when you set up that group, you better be ready with what come with it, because once they figure out that they know you on point, but once they figure out you get organized, then they gonna start a countermeasure against you to stop you.
It's not happening that way, because reparations is already.
Oh shit! Hey, unmute your phone. I accidentally muted you. Hold up, I'll mute it. Just match. Okay, there you go. Right there. Go ahead. My bad.
So listen, the reason why they're called out reparations for California is because of me. Okay, it was because of me. I've been telling my subscribers to please send the property confiscation to Governor Gavin Newsom. So then he said, okay. So he went on ahead and announced reparations, and it has to be a ripple effect. So I had everybody to go from either to Kansas, whatever state they in, they have to send the poster. You have to send the property confiscation to the mayor. And that's why they called out reparations. It's because of me. So they can't do anything. This is why she's running. She's running because they have no more power. They're running because they can't put me out of my own apartment building. The manager have to move out, like I said, and she really have to move out. And they have to. And it's because I bid it for the land, and the land is connected to the apartment complex, the park, and 640 acres is mine. This is why she's running, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Now, this is the thing here. The bid for the hearing is for everyone to have, and you have to apply yourself with that just by taking the paper and then giving them what you want to do with that, because you don't want a clone city. You don't want things that's already there. Where's my paper? What paper I just had? You don't want what's already here. The church, and you want what you want here. You know, you want to claim your property. You want to have everything. So it's just a matter of getting people together. Here's the proposal. See, I want the RVs, for everybody to have their RVs and we to travel to different promised lands in different states. This is what I want to happen. And they don't want it to happen, but they have to leave anyway because they're leaving anyway. They have to go. They have to go anyway because reparations have been called. They're already guilty of their crime. So it's real simple. It's real simple. You just have to have more people, like Elder said. He's right. Absolutely right.
So the underlying purpose was to tell people how to organize in a town to reclaim the government from the interim government. I understand what you're saying. You're talking about administering government in the town that you're in with the existing system.
No, I'm talking about claiming my land, and everybody else have to. And no one can come in. No one that is in the government can come in because it's your land and you do whatever you want to do with it. So everybody on the outside is just going to be left out there, but it'll be the promised land here. And it's the 640 acres, and it's real simple. It's not hard at all because it's through, urban planning and urban planning.
Right. So when you talk urban planning, you're talking about city zoning and development. They normally, this is probably why a lot of states or a lot of cities don't post that paper, because they normally have town hall meetings to discuss the zoning and the development. Yes. And what's proposed to go where.
Yes, exactly. Now the town hall meetings is for you to go to and say, well, I want to
right,
for that.
Right.
So they're gonna do exactly what you say. They're gonna do exactly what you say.
Now, everything that, okay, now I'm starting to see where the miscommunication at, because a lot of people don't go to town hall meetings.
Of course not.
Right. So most people don't participate in their local forms of government at all.
Exactly.
That's anything from voting to zoning and development to educational development and funding for the programs. It's only a handful of people in any city that participates in those aspects of the local government.
Right. But all you have to do is
that's one of the problems. Right. So that's one of the problems in the community is very few people are participating in local government. The call to action is to try to get as many people involved with what you're saying as possible.
Yes. Now, listen, all it takes is really about 5 people. Well, not even that. I mean, you just have to apply yourself. I'm sorry, not apply yourself. You have to apply this one paper, and then you just have to. Now, if they don't do what you say, then that's when you bring the people and say, hey, no, you need to give her land back. That's why I'm here on the platform to say, hey, and I put the link of the address, okay, that they have to hand over this bid to me because it's mine, and that's it. That's all. It's real simple. I just need people to help me, and I have my subscribers to send this video to the mayor, because what I do is I take it directly to the mayor. I tell them what they're guilty of, and they have to hand it over. You know what I'm saying? So she's just hiding. She's literally hiding under this Chinese man, and now I think they deported him. So yeah. So basically, I just need people to basically send my video to her. That's it.
But the local community support, what is your local community support?
The local community support is you guys.
Because when you're dealing with you're dealing with the mayor in the town, it's the local community support mean more than anybody outside of the community.
Nope, you gotta be a resident. I know what I'm talking about. Trust me. You have to
That's
be
what
a
I'm talking about.
Okay, well, I'm a resident and they're not doing what I say. So that's why you have to have a whole bunch of people to say, hey, this is her land, and that's it.
But they got to be people from your local government,
What? No, they don't.
from your local area. You
No.
can't have some outsider coming
Oh,
in
yes,
telling
you
somebody
can.
you own something.
Yes, you can. I can have a whole bunch of country to move into my house right now because I live here. I can have.
If they move in, then that make them a resident.
Oh, listen, I'm saying that let's get to the point. What the point is that I'm one person living in this land right here, and that I can bring anybody I want from Florida to Texas to come in here and help me.
I'm not disputing that, sweetie.
Okay, well, what I'm just saying, like it's like, but it's just me. I can do it myself because I live here. You can do it too. Like if you live in your area, you can bring from outsiders to come and help you.
Hey, you know what? Something you can do too. Another thing you need to do is make a public notice and then do the newspaper. Pay and get you an ad in a newspaper making a public notice and stating that land. So that way it'll be the public can know it. It'll be publicly
Well,
announced.
you know, social media is acceptable as a public notice.
That's right. So we're doing it right now, really, when they send it, when she send that video to her. But like the public, once the public see, okay, hey, what the hell is going on? See, people are not aware, but you like they looking at you like you crazy, like because they still indoctrinated Black Christian codes, a whole bunch of pile of shit.
Actually, they're not looking at me. Actually, they're not looking at me crazy at all. They're looking at me as like, damn, she's right. What do we do? That's what they're looking at.
Yeah, get them together. That's the people you need right there. That's the people you need.
I'm talking to people in office. They're not looking at me like I'm crazy. They looking at me like, damn, what do we do? Because they don't, you know, they're stuck. They don't know what to do.
One of the biggest obstacles that we come into a lot of times in the communication with the people is the average person have no clue what any of that paperwork mean when they see it.
What paperwork? Oh, you mean this one page, tiny little page that you could just get?
The average, that one little page to a lot of the people that might pick it up, it looked like gibberish.
Exactly. So you have to find somebody like me that'll break it down and say,
right.
Hey,
so you have a more insightful knowledge of the codes, and you have the experience of dealing with your local government.
I'm gonna go back and watch the live chat after. Uh-huh.
Yeah, because
so the local government is only moved by the local constituents.
Yeah, well, they say that we are the constituents, but I just say that I'm a resident.
There's a percentage. There's a percentage of the local townspeople. You can do the research and find out for your town what percentage of the people to change the government.
There's no percentage. I'm so tired. I gotta get up this video. It's getting late. I really appreciate it, but I'm getting really sleepy here. I got a big day tomorrow. But yeah, we talked enough. But we already just broke it down. Here it is. It's just, it's real simple. Just you just go to your local mayor and just get the paper. I'm just having hot flashes here. Yeah, it's just, but it was really nice chatting with you guys and everything. But it's getting tired here, and really appreciate you guys having me on here. But it's just real simple. It's real simple. You just get everybody together and just go to the local mayor office, get the paper, and then bid for the land, and that's it.
We got you. Hey, we gonna have your links to you want to subscribe to the sister page. We got like 1,000 and some people up in this joint, maybe even more than that. But we're gonna have our links and stuff in the description so you can subscribe to her page. So you want to get over there and do that. Raw, you want to keep going, or how you want to do? Because you ain't going none of the slides. We got a whole bunch of slides to go over.
But we go over a few of the slides before we call it. We'll let the sister get some rest.
Okay, all right.
All
We
right.
appreciate you for coming on.
All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Okay, will do.
Yeah.
We live, we lit. Hit that like button if you're in the building. We cracked heads and twisting caps. I'm gonna get more research on it, on this right here stuff, so we can put it together, man. Cause I see the sister want to do act. She want to get down there and handle up. And
I
I feel
think
like,
she's stuck trying to exit out, Elder. You want to help her?
okay, hold up, let me do it. Okay, all right. I'm gonna see, can I do it? Okay. I gotta go down here to stop sharing screen real quick. Oh, how do I do it? How do I do it? How do I do it? There you go. I think that'll do it right there. All right. Wadu. All right, there we go, right there.
Okay. One of the things that she's not understanding is this old system is gone. And so in order to replace it with something to allow them to leave, it's going to take a city by city grassroots effort to change local governments. Only by changing the local town government, by relieving the interim government from that post, right? So the paper she was talking about is different from city to city and how that process goes about. A lot of people that participate in local government, they go through that stuff through town hall meetings and city council votes. The city council is supposed to be represented by the different people in the city. If you got a city council person that don't live in the city, they supposed to disqualify themselves. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, now, the zoning stuff that she's talking about, there's different ways to bid on government properties, right? And in the town that she in, the paper that she's talking about, she can get that bidding, that zone, and bid on it if nobody owns it.
Mm-hmm.
If she win the bid, she's supposed to be the owner of that property.
She don't gotta pay that? Like a bid, saying like you gotta like,
it's a bid. That means it comes with a cost.
Okay.
Now, the difference in what she's saying versus what I'm saying is I'm telling people how to take local government over at the grassroots level and be the ones in charge of being administrators of those zoning right laws.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being an interim government administering those laws.
Mm-hmm.
The United States is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you go try to do a tour to the White House, it's going to tell you it's permanently closed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the chiefs is already selected on the land, as we've seen from the lady that put the Pope on notice.
Mm-hmm.
Sipico. Right? Now, the continuity of government is taking place in Raven Rock, Colorado. That's the transitional team to administer the new government. For the matriarchs in the town that want to reclaim the town, they have to reclaim it at the mayor's seat.
Uh-huh.
Right? And it has to be by the general consensus of the people of the town.
Mm-hmm.
Once they have the general consensus of the people, and I showed you how to set up from the map of her town, how you set up a grid.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody want to do the legwork of contacting the people in each grid.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
But if the grievances is the same, and they are all agreeing on the same thing, they'll change the local government and take control of the funding for the city, which is actually the village. When they take control of the funding from the village, the person that's sitting in the mayor's seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
That person then surrenders to the mayor of the town the key to the city and the charter for their interim capacity being done. It's over with now.
Mm-hmm.
The charter then is later on sent to the city capital, and all of this is to access finance.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You just closing out all of these contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She's under the impression that we under the old system totally.
Mm-hmm.
And that she can't get it understood why these people won't follow their system.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the system is gone. We have to find something to replace it.
So how would she go by? I mean, besides getting the people together, I think once you get the people to agree, they're gonna have to do something because it's the people that they over the city. The people, it's the people. We the people. We the people.
Yeah.
People. So are we still going under using constitutional law to put them in check?
We under the oral traditions of matriarchal rule.
So do we can we pull up them rules and see what the rules are? Or is that
they are handed down orally from mother to child and the clans on the land.
Okay, all right.
It's our oral tradition.
Okay.
That's why they use the paperwork to trap us.
Okay, yeah, I'm with it.
Because the paperwork gives them the appearance of legitimacy.
Yeah.
When we can see all the way to the Pope to overthrow the unum sanctums, then we can start reclaiming the land one city at a time.
Hey, so can she do like the lady did in the beginning of the tape who we showed? Go and catch them at a public event where everybody there and film it and everything and say the shit, public notice, serve the mayor. We serving you and telling you, we putting you on notice. She got to do the same thing that lady did at the beginning.
Yeah, the only difference is in order to change the mayor from what's a de facto mayor to a de jure mayor, you have to have the consensus of the mothers in the community.
Yes, you need more. That's what I said. That's what the ancestors was telling me. They tell her she had to get more sisters that agree with her so they could be a team. She only need that many. I say like 15, 20 people.
It's more people in their town that's willing to overthrow this rogue, rotten system that she could possibly imagine.
That's what I think.
But she already have fixed barriers from their system as to who she's willing to work with.
Okay.
So the fastest way is to work with the people in your town that's from your town.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what same energy. That's the same energy read that I was getting. She need to get more people to say the same thing she's saying, to educate her people. You got to educate your people to what you know so they can be on the same wavelength. But if everybody ain't on the same wavelength, they won't be, it's like you spinning your wheels because they gonna go for what the majority.
So yeah, so if everybody out for themselves,
yeah,
the power is scattered, can't nobody get shit.
Yeah.
But if you know how to get everybody something, apply that and we all get paid.
Yeah.
Right? The application of the matriarchs in the community taking over is shortcuts that you can take.
Yeah.
Right? You got mother groups already in the town.
Yeah.
You got organizations that feed poor people already in the town. You got churches, mosques already in the town.
Yeah.
By linking with the mothers from all of these places, it'll take you no time to get one town support to administer their own government.
Yeah.
There's no way to get rid of the legal fiction unless you factually ready to take over.
Yeah, right. So yeah, you gotta have it's more to it. Like I think both of y'all was right in what y'all saying. She was right.
She absolutely right under the old system.
Yeah, I think she was right.
But she don't understand why she running into that frustration.
I say do it her way and your way. Both ways, both ways. The way we can't miss. You can't miss it.
Right, but look, the way that she trying to do it is the way that the system is designed. That's why they not honoring it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with it. And I think the way they are honoring it is because she by herself, just like they been honored it back then.
Yeah. So when you start telling people how to get the support, they don't want to hear that shit. They want you to do it for them. Do it for me right now, then.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm
How's
saying.
this
I'm
gonna help
saying
me? This
this
is the
is
number
the
one question.
blueprint, step by step, how to get the support from your locals, right? And when you get the local support, you relieve the interim government of their interim capacity. Once you relieve the interim government, you are now running your own government.
Hey, you know,
and you have to do it by the town because that's the march of the mayors. They already ready to relinquish power, but they can't do it if the people not ready to receive the power. Everybody wants somebody else to do it for them, but don't nobody want to do it themselves. Right? My job was to find out who did it, what they do, and how to get out of it. Now I'm telling us how to get out of it, and people want me to do it.
Yeah, like that's how they was, you know. That's that they still in that magical religious thing with Jesus. Hey, well, show us Jesus how that you could do it, and then you know they still in that shit. But the thing is, like I said, the main number one question is people ask, and they try to counter you with this number one question. This is the number one question in the world that the counters use. Is how can this help me now? How can this help me right now? That's what they want to hear. These kids, they've been on these generation now. They've been on McDonald's. Everything was fast for them. You know, they ain't got to wait in line. They go through the drive-thru. They want you to put them through the drive-thru. They want to hear how can this help me right now? That's what they keep asking me. How what you saying help me right now? Like why I can and that's the point where the chick is at. Miss Catherine is at. She's at the point where, I did my research on it, and she researched in a system like you said. It's in the matrix. It's part of the matrix, right?
Yeah.
But like I say, we gotta fight these beings in the matrix, and at the end we're gonna come to with the machines. We fighting against the machines. We fighting against machines and robots right now. They came back from the future. Niggas might think I'm crazy by telling you this shit right now. we fighting against the Terminators and niggas like that, man. That they already put out. These people in 2029, they already got devices where they can send robots back into the future. But people think Mother Sophia Stewart is crazy, man. I'm telling you, they already got these robots. They already sending them back into the future to stop us right now. And so we thinking that it's humans, but it's androids and shit that we going up against. It's fucking robots. And the real people, they gone already. They already got took out because remember you said they put a kill order on these people and they took off running. So now we fighting against a robots, computerized and Daru controlled supercomputer in the center of the earth, clone drone ass satellite control ass beings. I'm telling you, man. And so
see, when we go to talking about our old ways,
go ahead.
Because we haven't been used, and people just assume that shit don't work. But don't nothing work if you don't use it.
Yeah.
I don't care how good the answer is. If nobody don't want to use the answer, it ain't no good.
Yeah.
It can be the absolute answer to the problem, but if you don't have nobody that want to apply the answer to solve the problem still won't get solved. This is going to be on the chalkboard.
Yeah.
That's an unsolved problem. The legal fiction is over with. Notice the agent is notice the principal. The notice to the principal was the notice to the Pope. So all of his agents was notified when he was. So if he's on notice and the chief's already prepared across the land, all they looking for is to see the grassroots moving.
Yeah, I'm with you on
because if the grassroots is moving, that means the people understand the assignment that the legal fiction is destroyed. And now we can go to an organic form of government back to the matriarchy. Right? It's a lot of people when they go through these universities, be so convinced of the legitimacy of the system
Yeah,
that they believe in the system and want the system to work for them. And when it don't, they get frustrated.
man, you sound just like you talking like Morpheus, man. You sound like Morpheus right now, man. You telling me like you Morpheus, man. That's some shit. I think Morpheus even quoted some shit like that in the Matrix, man. Like you just said.
Look, the same applies to any one of the islands.
Yeah.
Right now, if any one of the islands started assembling the matriarchs across their island,
Uh-huh.
and then they get one lead matriarch and they take her down to whatever the capital is and excuse them motherfuckers from the land, they have to leave right now. That includes Australia, Tongan Islands, the Samoas, Hawaii, all of that. If you can organize the people and the people want better, you can give them better by organizing them. But if you only out for yourself, you're going to get frustrated.
Yeah, so I think she tried to do it by herself, and it's like you going against, they just blowing off. But if they got, say if it's 20,000 people in her city, if you got 200-300 people, all you need is 10%. That's what the 10% is about. They always talk about get 10%. You only need 10%.
Type in this word on Google.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna go back to Google real quick. Let's see. She get 10% of her city degree, man.
I think it's more than 10%.
They gone now, really. How much? What percentage is it? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Type the word.
It might be 70. It might be higher than that. I just
MANDATE.
Mandate. MANDATE. Mandate. Official policy. Hold on, I'm gonna take this damn glasses off so I can see this shit. All right. It says the authority to carry out a policy or course of action. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Regards as given by the electors to the candidates or party that is victorious in an election. All right. So what you want me to look some numbers up on that?
Look, in front of it, put how many.
I think it's only 10% though. I mean, the 10.
It's a number of
classified mandate.
The classified mandate. That's right. How many people?
I got you. How many people? Okay, I got you. Okay, here you go. How many people? Okay. Mandate. How many people? I'm trying to see how to word it so to come out. How many people takes a mandate? Hold on, I got it. Here we go. Keep on giving me stuff about city.
Instead of people, put constituents. That might help.
Oh yeah, I got it right now. I think I got it right here. It's gonna take it's called petition. Let's see. It's gotta be 5%. I think it's 5% was saying. Oh, okay. It says the rise conflict. Oh, it gotta be 50%. At least half, 51% of your city that gotta agree with you on that. 51%. That's like more than half. So you gotta have like that one. So it's like just like the House and Congress where they gotta have.
That's 51, called controlling interest in business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you need 51% of your city to change the mayor.
Yeah. 51% of her city. She get 51% of her city. That's overthrows that's enough percentage to overthrow and push through what she doing. They had to do it then. It's that's no way around it. So that's just like in the Congress, or it's in the House of Representatives, they got a certain amount of chairs. And if a certain amount of percentage vote, if 51% vote, then that's they go with that vote, right? The 51%, because it's more than majority. It's the majority. That's what I was saying. So it'll be, if she get 51% of her city, then it'll be the majority to back her and start saying, now I know she's saying, well, I ain't trying to really do nothing. I just want to get this little piece of land and make it do this, and the city got to do this, but it's still, you got to
right. But if she take over city government, now she don't just have that little piece of land. She got the city to
city.
help rebuild
the whole city. Hey, so hey, Greg Simmons, what is it then? How much? What's percentage? So don't. Oh, says it says what? Somebody gonna get I told y'all we're gonna go back to read the comments. If you made a comment that was fucked up, you better delete it, because we chopping heads off after this. We chopping heads off. We chopping. This is Gorilla Clan, nigga. We was the Gorilla Clan. It's Gorilla Clan. So hey, what it says? Yeah, it seems that 50%. It's I think it's 51%, because it goes back to the I think it's 51% of the city. That's what I think, because it's dealing like that'll be more than half of her city. So yeah, it says okay. 7% of the population. No, that's just something else. No, I don't think this brother reading the same thing that I'm reading. Hey, so yeah, so once I think the sisters got the right. I think just do both what both of y'all saying. Do what Rod saying. Then I don't know if the paperwork stipulation trapped you back in a matrix, pulled you back.
We talking about starting from scratch. With no nothing.
Yeah.
To take the city government.
Yeah.
The way that you structure it is how you would structure a city council.
Okay.
This is why you divide the neighborhoods up on the map.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
now you're going to relieve the interim government. All of these governments are interim governments. Right? Once you have the city council established, the one most qualified, relieve the mayor of the interim duties of running the city's government, and it reverts to the city council that's already established by the town. Right? They took the villages and turned them into cities, so we had to use the same cutout, but we use it on the city level instead of on a village level. It's the same thing. It's just a bigger village.
Yeah.
Right? The concept is the same. The speed in which it takes, according to the level of understanding of the people that's being involved. Right? If the people don't understand what they're doing, they ain't gonna get involved.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. See,
right.
So you got an education. They didn't educate my bad for cutting in. They didn't educate the children of the people on what she's talking about. So it's like when you talking to them, it's like you talking another religious or something else, or something that's outside of what they've been programmed.
Right, because it's directly in opposition to the standing system. Right. So when you faced off with a legal fiction, pull up the hierarchy of laws picture again.
Okay, I got you. Well, yeah, we got to go through that. Here we go.
Okay, so the hierarchy of laws, you got universal laws, natural law, law of maxims, right, which is God's law. Then you got sovereign law. Right? The sovereign law is how to assert your blood ties to the land in jurisdiction.
Okay.
Right? Below that, you got contract law.
Okay.
Right? Now, contract law is subservient to sovereign law. All of these cities right now are operating under contract law.
I'm with it.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, under that, you got treaties, constitution, corporation, federal codes.
Yeah.
Right? Then you got police corporations and agents. Then you got citizens.
Yeah.
Right? So if you scroll back up, we want to use natural law or sovereign law.
Mm-hmm.
The natural law is what we call the great law,
Mm-hmm.
right? And sovereign law is how in the human arena, the great or the natural laws are applied in how we administer the land, the air, and the water,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we are aware that they poisoned the land, the water, and the air.
Yeah.
We know about the chemtrails, the hormones, and the aluminum and the fluoride in the water.
Mm-hmm.
We know about them putting pesticides and chemicals that destroys the land in order to maximize crop financial bottom dollar,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they are in direct violation of natural law.
Straight up, real talk.
Now, the law of maxims tells the sovereign
Mm-hmm.
how to override the contract law,
Mm-hmm.
right? So God's law is the blueprint to override the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Would they in live? Or would they with God? Because we gotta give a name on that God, man.
look, contract law
Huh?
is levies and liens.
Okay.
Levies is the tribe of Levi.
Okay.
Those are your barristers.
Yeah. I'm with you.
They operate through a system of liens and levies.
Okay.
The lien is the anagram for enlil.
Okay, go ahead. I'm with you.
Okay, now that's because they have to have a signature on their work.
Okay.
The sovereign law is the ancient code of kings.
Okay.
The ancient code of kings tell the kings and the queens how to administer natural law using the law of maxims.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, they put a lot of religious jargon in here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? And they want to tie the Bible back to all levels of law.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right, because that's enlil. Scroll all the way up to the top. Enlil is operating from the jurisdiction of universal laws.
Yeah. That's why you had to make
So the only way he can enforce them is by putting his law, is codifying his laws in a maxim form and call them the Holy Scriptures, the Word of God, right? So in the process of that, because it's a contract and because it's a riddle, we will argue the Bible as if it's the law of God.
Yeah.
Right? But it falls under contract law in truth.
Yep. Right.
The Bible is a contract.
Damn sure.
If you see the Bible placed above sovereign rights, that automatically tell you who's usurping who.
That's why they make you swear on the Bible when you go into court. Because they make you swear on
Because you swear and uphold the contract.
Yeah.
In truth.
Yeah.
And nothing but the truth.
Yeah. So help me in live. Help me in live. Hey man, I'm telling you, these gets game, bro. God, dog, that's game. In live, the slick little joker, man.
So when they created this system, we were never supposed to figure out that if we go back to the oral traditions of the people of the land, pull up the Indigenous Rights Act, to see if we can get in that. Read a couple pages.
Yeah, Macy, I thought I should have put that up in there, man. I got it on the hard drive. Okay, okay, let me type this in. You want the rights of the act? Right.
See if you can pull up the PDF.
All right, that's what I'm gonna go for right now. I think it's right here. PDF.
It's right there where the blue bar at.
Yeah, right here. It was the one we were going over. It should be highlighted. Here you go, right here. It's the one we were going on right here. It's highlighted. Oh yeah, we got them. All right. Which one you want to read? Let me go back. It's right where we left off when we got off last time. Here we go. I knew I had it saved in my line. All right, let me go back to the top and let it load up. Okay, there we go. American Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. Recall. Oh, it's like the intro part.
It's a little past the intro.
All right. Resolve. This might be it right here. I think the ancestors led you to do this right here, right now. Rod, this right here might be our answer to this lady's problems or what's she doing. I think it's in this what we about to read right now. I can feel it. It's in this. This is the answer right here. This right to indigenous people stuff. All right, section 1, Rod, article 1.
The American Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People to the indigenous people of the Americas. Self-identification, first and foremost. In Article 1, Section 2 is self-identification.
Hold up. Okay, hold up. My bad. I'm gonna do this arrow so it don't scroll down. Okay, there you go, right there. There you go.
Self-identification as indigenous peoples will be a fundamental criterion for determining whom this declaration applies. States shall respect the right to such self-identification as indigenous, whether individually or collectively. In keeping with the practices and institutions of each indigenous people. Now you see where it said institutions.
Yeah. Okay.
And practices.
Yeah.
Right. Practices is those things that we do, whether we in a system or not. And our institutions are all of the stuff that they usurped us in education, law, politics. All of those are fundamental. Finance, those are fundamental institutions.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they can't stop us if we use our original practices to reclaim our institution as indigenous people. Let's go to the next
one. All right, I got you.
State recognize and respect the multicultural and multilingual character of indigenous people who are an integral part of their societies. That means that they recognize the multicultural, which means amalgamated groups of indigenous people,
or traditions,
and the multilingual, those who speak different languages, because many of us been denied the right to speak in our indigenous tongue, so we speak a foreign language on our homeland, right? And who are integral parts of their societies, right? So as long as you are an integral part of your society, meaning one of the organic people of the land, no matter what language you speak or your multicultural background, they still have to respect that. Let's go down a little more.
Man, this is what she need to be putting out. This take this shit to the ass. Hit them with this. She might have did though, you know. We don't know.
This is real critical because this is entailing taking your government by applying your own rights to self-determination as a sovereign. Indigenous people have the right to self-determination. By virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. Right? So all of these things are tied to us reclaiming the land. The economics, the national debt becomes the national debit for the reconstruction. Right? Social is how we interact one with another on the land. The cultural development is our artistic expressions in varying forms of art that defines our culture. For example, the hip hop culture is the culture that sprang from the indigenous people of the land. Article 4. Nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, people, group, or person any right to engage in any activity to perform any act contrary to the Charter of the Organization of American States or the Charter of the United Nations, or construed as authorizing or encouraging any action which dismember or impair totally or in part the territorial integrity and political unity of sovereign and independent states.
See, we talking, I think we right on what she needed to be putting together, you know, this right here part.
Now this right here, the way this is structured, the only way you can't just disassemble the state without having an alternative replacement is basically what this stands. If you applying indigenous rights, but you are upholding the integrity of these lines of demarcation, because that's what they're talking about. These charters expired anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So we can't disrespect it or dismember the charter, but we can rebuild and replace what they have put in place. Right? So that's what that's going towards explaining.
Okay. Yeah, so they got the charter. So they got a charter from the laws of London for the United States Corporation. That's a charter they talking about?
The charter for the United States Corporation was held by the Vatican through London.
Okay.
Full effect and observation of human rights. Indigenous peoples and individuals had a right to the full enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedoms, as recognized in the Charter of the United Nations, the Charter of the Organization of American States, and international human rights law. Notice it don't say United States of America.
Yeah, it say United Nations.
And then it say Organization of American States.
Yeah.
Right?
It don't even say United States. It don't say, it say American States.
Organization of American States.
So is that a new name? A new slick? Because is that a new slick way of saying United States?
Type in Organization of American States.
All right, let's get there. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like action. Let's get that.
This is a good thing about when you're going over the research and you look something up, because it clarifies stuff.
That's what I like. That's what I like. So I wish I would have had new now that sister, she got me want to do more research on how I can help her help her with what she doing, you know.
She need to organize. She not organized.
I said that's what told me.
She need to organize in her town. She trying to get outsiders from outside of her town to move her city government, and they can't.
That's what I said. She need some people that agree with her, that's with her. She need pull. What we call on the streets, that's pull. That means that, all right, if this person or that person
pulled in the streets, how do you get pulled?
I get pulled by putting my name in the game, and then I can make connects. I make connects with niggas that say like, okay, all right, me. When I was younger in my city, I got pulled. Right now, I got pulled right in my city because I know all of the OGs, the niggas that ran their hoods. So like I know all the clans, all of the chiefs on the land. I know them. To know the chiefs, the clans. So like you got the Hoovers over here, you got the Bloods over here. I know all of the leaders of all the clans in their neighborhood. So when they say my name, if it's come down to something with them, they gonna say, oh yeah, I know him. He's great. He cool. You know what I'm saying? I got pulled. So they gonna vouch for me. You gotta have somebody that vouch for you. Just like when they going into like a Freemasonic lodge, they gotta have they have a vote on you, and so but somebody gotta vouch for you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have somebody vouch for you, so you get pulled by vouchers, by niggas that can vouch for you. Hey,
okay, now
You know what I'm
when
saying?
you get, how do you get a nigga to vouch for you? They normally vouch for you in the hood because you did something called putting in work, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Right.
I want to get to it,
So
but that's good. That's right.
if you want the pool in your town, you got to put in the work.
Yeah, build a name for yourself. That's right.
Now, don't gotta like the solution
Yep.
for it to be a workable solution.
Yep. Yep.
You can't change city government without the consensus of the people of the city.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the same with the village, right? If one of the village elders go rogue, they got a system to replace his ass.
Oh shit, bro.
Read what it say,
Damn,
Elder.
bro. This shit crazy. I pulled it. Oh shit, son. Hold on, let me go back. Oh man, they trying to get away from it. They saw what we was on right then. All right, man. Okay, it's really 10 by 10 square miles when you sum it up. That's what they're gonna tell you. All right. The Organization of American State is an international organization that was founded on 30 April 1948. That's the same connected with the Israel for the purpose of sovereignty and cooperation amongst its member states within the Americas. So it's really just a business. It's a business from the 10 by 10 square miles. It says the address of it is 217 Washington, D.C. And it was founded in Colombia. It was signed, they signed some agreement in Colombia, April 30th, 1938, April 30th, 1948, in Bogota, Colombia. It's when they logged for this company to be organized. They founded it right there in Colombia. Damn.
Okay, let's find out who the founders are.
Yeah, hold up, Rod. Hey, Rod. Man, this right here, I think you might have stumbled up on something right here, bro. Because this gonna connect these niggas, man.
So this is an organization started
Okay,
in
who the founders is?
1948.
Let's see, okay. Let's go back, bro. Let's get it. Yep. 1948, April 30th. Okay, all right, let's see. Who are the founders? Let's get them niggas, man. Hey, look, I think I know who the founders is. I got this book. With the black dude on the front. It said people behind the scenes, dog faces behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And they got these black dudes that own all these corporations you never even heard of them. And they the richest niggas in the world. The same niggas use that. It says Organization of America Founders. That's what we looking for. Let's get these niggas. Somebody in the crowd say, get them, Rod Hayes. It's some French nigga, man. Hold on, it says the notion of the International Union of the New World, damn, was first put. I ain't typed the New World in. It says Organization of America right here. You reading it. It says the notion of the International Union in the New World was first put forward during the liberation of the Americans by Jose D. San Martin and Simon Bolivar. I think that's how I'm saying his name, who at the 1826 Conference of Panama, still being part of Colombia, proposed creating a League of American Republic with a common military, a mutual defense pact. What else they got on it? Okay, yeah, Simon, the dude they got, says it was Congress of Panama, convoked by Simon, listen to that name, Simon says, Bolivar in 1826. So like I said,
Okay, but this is what organization wasn't founded into 1948.
So I'm
so
saying
some
right
ain't
there,
adding
right?
up right here.
Yeah, that's right. It's saying that that's what it got right here. Look on the Wikipedia, Organization of State American States, right here. So they might have been switching. They might be twisting us around, twisting our ankle or something, you know. We got these niggas though. We on them. We on the Rod. We on them. I'm telling you. Oh, look. Okay, let's get what they say
I'm
right here on
thinking
their
this is
Wikipedia.
tribal for some reason. Now I don't know why I'm thinking that.
Oh shit. Look. Yeah, man, this gotta be something. It's something with these. It says, okay, The Portuguese, okay, says, well, right. It's an organization that was founded on April 30th, 1948, for the purpose of solemnly and cooperating amongst the member states within the Americas. Headquarters in the United States Capitol, Washington, D.C. The OAS has 35 members. I guess that's the Organization of American States, right? That's what it stands.
Mm-hmm.
Which are independent states in Americas. Since the 1990s, the organization has focused on election monitoring. What? Motherfuckers throwing me off. Election monitoring. Why the fuck would they be? Okay, all right.
Because we know they've been stealing elections ever
Yeah.
since the Electoral College was instituted.
So hold up, Rod. Oh shit. Okay, all right. So these
See
things,
in the contents right there, see if it say purpose.
okay, do it say purpose in the contents? Okay, let me see. Purpose. No, it don't say just background, foundation.
Okay, let's look at their symbols.
Okay, right here. There you go, right there. How many flags that is? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm thinking this is the tribal transfer organization.
36 flags. 1, 2, 3.
Remember they said they had 13 independent states?
Yeah.
What's an independent state?
Shit, a tribal land. That's what I would say.
Any state that that's no longer chartered to the United States Corporation.
Okay, yeah. I'm with you on it. Okay. I'm with you on it. Yeah.
Okay, so the way that this looks like a native design to me.
Yeah, it looks, yeah.
What other symbols do they have?
They had this Turtle Island, the land mass right here on this side.
Which is where all of the matriarchal jurisdiction rests.
Yeah. See, up to something, man. We on to something here. I'm telling you. They
You
got why they
notice
got
you
this
got-
part red. And
And
then
I was just finna point that out. That's either Cuba or Haiti.
it's Cuba. Haiti's right here. Like this Puerto Rico, this Hades. They split in half right there. Then this is this Cuba. Because I've been right here. I've been to these islands. I've been to both of these islands. I've been to Hades, Puerto Rico, and Cuba. This Cuba right here.
I'm gonna have to do some more investigation on this Organization of American States because we no longer, they ain't even mentioning the United States of America at all.
No, this, and then look the way they got it wrote.
Let's read some more of the document.
Okay, let's go back. It was the American, I mean the indigenous people, right?
Yeah.
Then okay, I guess. Boom. It was on it right here. Right here, there you go. All right. You was right. You already read that for it right there. Yeah, I believe her answers is in this document.
You see this part right
I'm
here?
telling you. Yeah.
This is under collective rights.
Okay.
Collective rights apply whenever you draw a group of indigenous people together.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Right. Indigenous people have collective rights that are indispensable for their existence, well-being, and integral development as people. In that regard, states recognize and respect the right of indigenous people to their collective action, to their juridical, social, political, and economic systems and institutions. This is what we have to do, rebuild.
The family institution, the tribal institutions.
Right. So they telling you to do it and they ain't gonna stand in your way.
See?
All right. Then it say to their own cultures to profess and practice their spiritual beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
to use their own tongues and languages, and to their lands, territories, and resources,
Mm-hmm.
states shall promote with full and effective, let's see what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But you see where it say their lands, territories, and resources, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I'm looking at hard. Like, okay, all right, how what part can this go to what she was talking about? To use their own tongue and language, and to their land, territory, and resources. So that's what she's trying to access: her territory, her land, and the resources of her land, which would be the money that they got, but that she was talking about, the $50 million or whatever.
Right, but they can't release it now because the government is closed.
Okay.
So they have to duck her.
Yeah. That's why they ducking her.
So while they ducking her, this is what she's supposed to be doing: reorganizing the community.
It's like the ancestors told me to tell her.
To replace the system in play, the city, right? And once you reorganize the community, you go collect the keys in the charter. When the charter is how you cash your money, because all of the charters has to be added up, and they're gonna distribute the money according to those charters collected. Right? The charter is going to be collected by FEMA when they come to give resources. Right? They're going to need that charter to go into what's called government transfer protocols. Then they got to offer a list of services to the town.
You think they created a back door so when we get out of this, that we'll still fall into their trap? Like, hey, FEMA, then they said, so in the international court send FEMA up, or like?
No, they originally set FEMA up to round us up.
Okay.
But since it was set up and we seized it, we changed what the purpose of, we repurposed it. FEMA is short for female.
Yeah.
Right? So when we go into the matriarchy, the women have to be willing to restructure local government.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the keys to the land. And when the first city do it, it's just going to take off like flowers, like wildfires.
So let me ask you this, Rod, because this right here, key pivot point. So you think by us still participating in the Black Christian code, religion, Roman Catholic religion, that still let them know that, hey, we ain't participating out. We weren't doing that before when they came over here. We weren't going to church and doing all that. We didn't have none of that.
We're not using none of their stuff. If we use ours, the oral tradition,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Consensus of mothers.
That's right. Go back to what we
the prerequisite to being a matriarch is you have to be a mother.
Okay, go ahead. Build on that.
Okay. Now, once the mothers come to a consensus, right, which is a significant number of mothers in a given jurisdiction. In this case, we're talking cities because they the modern village. Right? So in every city, you can relieve the mayor if you follow the structure. The interim government don't need to be there no more if you know how to run your city government. Let's take Chicago. Lori Lightfoot she from the Coon clans, right? At any given time, she could raise the charter up, raise the key to the city up, and say the matriarch has reclaimed the city of Chicago, and then she could present to FEMA the charter, and they're going to send emergency services to aid and assist Chicago. They're going to have a whole list of services for her to choose what she needs. And the funding comes from the national debt, becomes the national debit. That's the money they owe us. They don't owe that money to nobody else. So when the national debt becomes the debit on the turnaround, that's going to fund the reconstruction of the land from coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
It's at least $1 trillion.
Man, so it's like so once she organized, boom. I think it's like once I think, man, that's why they really wanted to destroy gang banging and make it negative, because it was the chiefs, it was organized on the land to where they can hook up on the clans. All the clans can hook up, and we can practice our original indigenous thing, our original indigenous stuff. And a lot of that stuff was lost. But it's still people here that can reach, they know the knowledge. And the knowledge it's certain people that the knowledge is gonna come to, so we can relearn our knowledge. But like I said, a lot of people saying in the comments, we're gonna take a couple questions. We already 2 hours in. A lot of people are saying in the comments when the sister was on, paperwork. We don't need to do no more paperwork. So
look. Once we overthrow their system, right? But paperwork is just records keeping.
Yeah.
But you don't use paperwork to verify who you are. You don't use paperwork to get a driver's license.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if we was to issue driver's license, it would only be for identification purposes when you travel the land.
I see what you're saying. You asking for privilege. When you use paperwork, you asking for privilege for rights that you already got.
Right. That's exactly right, Elder. You got it. Home run.
You're giving up your privilege when you ask them to. It's pretty much just like they sucking us in. Like say, like, okay, we know damn well a driver license is a contract. So all these paperwork is to sucker us into contracts.
Yep, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's to sucker us into contracts to continue, let the devil keep his game going. I'm gonna tell you, man, I feel like the devil is already gone, but we holding them here by continuously doing contract and business with him. And we gotta do it almost because we have it organized like Elijah Muhammad was trying to set us up to do. And set up for our damn self. The Nation of Islam already set up to go into it. But everybody else, the Yahweh Ben Yahweh clan, they set up too. There's a couple of groups on the land, a couple of chiefs was on the land doing it, getting us set up for this part. But I'm gonna tell you why everybody not with what you're saying, Rod. They are with it because they're not prepared to get off of this, his system, the McDonald's and all these systems that they got. They won't want to grow their own food. They don't want to hunt their own food. They want to stay in the past. It says they are robbed and spoiled. These people were robbed and spoiled. That means they robbed us of our land, and then they spoiled us by making us everything handed to us. So like Elijah Muhammad was coming. We son Elijah. You better listen. We son Elijah to get y'all on you for self. Get your own shit. Get your own business. Get your own shit. And that way, when we put them off, we'll be good.
Yeah, and everybody want to shift the weight. I don't want to be the one to do it. I want somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So when we understand that you can't have government of the people, for the people, and by the people if the people are not part of the government.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have people in government, but they not part of the people.
Mm-hmm.
They separated by legal fictions, straw mans, and titles of nobility.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Almost all of the so-called politicians has to be an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
All attorneys are bar members.
Right.
If they're a bar member, they represent the Crown of England. They don't represent us.
And they just practicing. They ain't really doing. They niggas just practicing.
But they ain't gonna never get good at it. Let's read some more of the document, Elder.
Them niggas just practicing, bro. Yeah, I see what a larger purpose was now. When we got to this point, if we would have been listening to Elijah, we would have already had our own. Well, we could say we don't need nothing from you no more. We got everything. And we make
Okay,
our
so
own
is
clothes, we
that
make our own shoes. So we still got to deal with Nike. That's why we arguing with and all them niggas. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Yeah, this right
This
here,
is an important part right here because it's
Yeah.
dealing directly with the women.
go ahead.
Indigenous women had a right to recognition, protection, enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedoms provided for in international law, free from discrimination of any kind. That means that the matriarchs decide to reclaim their positions, they're not going to try to interfere.
Okay, go ahead.
Number two, state recognize that violence against indigenous people and individuals, particularly women, hinders and nullifies the enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedoms.
They telling you Big Mama run this shit right there in that quote right there.
Number three, states shall adopt in conjunction with indigenous peoples. I mean, they got to work with us.
Mm-hmm.
The necessary measures to prevent and eradicate all forms of violence and discrimination, particularly against indigenous women and children. That go back to the grievance of the mothers about the children coming up missing, right? So they don't want to take the steps to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
The only step to stop it is they have to reclaim their birthright.
Mm-hmm.
Indigenous people, indigenous individuals and communities, notice to say the word communities,
Mm-hmm.
have the right to belong to one or more indigenous peoples. I mean, you could be part of more than one tribe.
Right, that's what Bob was doing.
In accordance with the identity, traditions, customs, and systems of belongings of each people. No discrimination of any kind may arise from the exercise of such a right. Now, the reason this is in there is because different clans have different traditions that one person might practice traditions from different clans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is saying even if they do that, they still can't be discriminated against.
Yeah, you can't stop them. Pretty much.
Juridical personality. States shall recognize fully the juridical personality of indigenous people, respecting indigenous forms of organization and promoting the full exercise of the rights recognized in this declaration.
Mm-hmm.
So they already recognize us forming our autonomous government.
Mm-hmm.
But don't nobody want to form the autonomous government because it requires the legwork.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put in work to get out of it what you want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Rejection of assimilation. Indigenous peoples have the right to maintain, express, and freely develop their cultural identity in all respects, free from any external attempt at assimilation. That means that whatever our culture is, we can practice that without somebody forcing the Bible down our throat.
Mm-hmm. 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 So I think you want to keep going because we already over the time.
I ain't tripping out. I'm here with you, buddy. However long you want to stay, I'm here.
Oh yeah, well we can get into it. What I was gonna say, yeah, that I want to take a couple questions. Then we can take a couple questions. Then we got about 15 minutes. We'll take a couple more questions. Hey, do we have any questions in the chat for the brother Rod? Because I'm gonna go do some more looking on this, man. Because like I said, I knew Elijah was. I knew what he was doing. But
yeah, Elijah set up a tribe.
Yeah, I know what he was doing. He was getting us set up to where now, see, now we gonna if we want them to leave, but we still buy from them. We don't got our own shoemaker. We buy from Nike, Azita. Well, we don't got nobody making shoes, but Elijah Muhammad was setting that up. Suits, different things, making for and buying from our own people. That's what the message to the black man was all about. And people just wrote them off. and they always look at the bad part. Oh, he was with these girls, just like they do Baba. He was with these girls, or he was with this. They always look at that part. They never look at what the ancestors, why they sent these beings to set us up to this point, to where we already, if we would have listened to Elijah, we would have been saying, all right, we ain't got to go ask y'all for shit. We got our own shit. We don't got to ask y'all to tell about our own land. We already on the land. So yeah, all we want y'all to do is just leave us alone.
Right, because anytime you form a tribe on the land, even if it's a government here, as long as you don't force yourself in their jurisdiction, they're not supposed to bother you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But our people in a regular everyday life, we are participating in their system and we don't even realize that it's not our system.
We keeping them alive. We keeping them.
Yep.
Yeah, we keeping
them. It's the contracts that they operating from.
By voting.
So the blueprint is simple, but it requires legwork. Organize the city, relieve the mayor of their interim duties as running the city government. There's some cities right now that can't wait to do it. We don't even know about them. They haven't had the message yet.
I feel you. Somebody had a question, man.
Ask the question. When they pop up, just ask them.
If we call ourselves black or not.
What's the question?
Do it matters if we call ourselves black or not?
Or do it matter to who?
I guess us.
So when they refer to us as black, that meant that we was the ones under attack by the free white persons in law, aka the goddamn white man. It was a designation to separate the organic people of the land from the invaders. The invaders was classified as white. We was classified as black. We was written out of history using the Dawes Roll and other legal maneuvers and historical alterations.
Hey, somebody said a question. How do I reclaim get the key to the city and obtain? Oh look, it just jumped off. Man. How do they get the keys to the city? Man, just seen it. Black or white. Okay, that was the next one. Then it said, okay, I'm just gonna read them in order. Can we just go claim our land without letting them know?
If you they don't need to know shit, but your people need to know. See, some people want to go into their system and operate like they did on us. They got a contingency for anybody to do to them what they did to us. So they got armament, military right to enforce their artificial status of you not doing to them what they done to us.
Somebody said, okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay. What about courts? Legal problems. How do you defeat court legal problems?
You can't defeat them until you overthrow their system.
I think with the say something.
They don't respect. If you use what they using against you against them, they crash down on you 10 times harder. Because if you figure out the way to out of their system, other than abandoning the contract, you may take too many people and cause a system to fall apart. So they attack you and issue a war rant, a declaration of war. That means you was an enemy to their system and they need to remove you to maintain their system. So the only way for us to really get out of their legal jurisdiction is to overthrow their legal jurisdiction by returning back to tribal consular courts.
Mhm. I got you, Callie. Callie says, I just had a baby last week. What should I do about the birth certificate and social security number?
Nothing.
Mhm.
If you know what those documents is, you probably wouldn't want to do nothing anyway. A birth certificate is a straw man bond to put the straw man on reserve with the federal banking system. The Social Security is tying them to an indemnity account.
Mhm. Mhm. It's the Tin Man and the Scraw Man in the Wizard of Oz.
Yep. The imbecile in law and the legal fiction. Tax identification number.
Mhm. All to put you as chattel property of the church. Yeah, we got them. We own them. All right, let me see what else we got. We own them. The Black Christian Code. Okay, yeah, that's what we just said. How do we start to overthrow that system, Rod?
That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
The system is already over. We just have to build the system. Their system is dead. It's just only there. It's a big ass ghost. That's just the remnants of what their system was that we seeing in front of us. If we don't build a system, this motherfucker run indefinitely. It's on autopilot. Ain't nobody running that motherfucker no more.
That's what I said.
The takeover comes by city government. That's why she's so keen. If you pay attention, she knows the power is in the mayor's office.
Yeah.
But she don't know how to take the power from the mayor.
Mayor is another word for Big Mama.
Yeah, a mayor is a female horse, the leader of the female, leader of a horse pack.
Yeah. And man, we looked up some last class. You said where it said that word mayor related to the seat of Big Mama, like the house of Big Mama in that town. Big Mama was always the head of the
right. The mayor house, the house of the mayor is Big Mama house in that village.
Yeah.
That's why you need the key to the city. It's symbolically giving you the key to Big Mama house. But when they give it to you with the charter, it's because you claim Big Mama's responsibility to administer government in the town.
Yeah. So I think that's the point that she was getting at is how does she? I mean, you said I know you explained it to her, but I told, and then we just broke it down right here. I think that she just need a group. You know what I'm saying? That agree with her.
So once the women start taking over, they gonna have the police is foreign agents.
Okay. Yeah.
And when the women take over, they're gonna order the county sheriff to anybody that's a law enforcement officer, they can deputize to be a sheriff. But the police got the clothes. Right? The sheriff is going to fall under the Grand Sharif, which is the law enforcer on the land, which is Chief Malik Angel Bay.
Chief Malik Angel Bay. Yeah, we got a lot of questions about that dude too. Like
Jeff Ford.
Yeah, Jeff Ford. And I know Jeff Ford was up to something, man. That's why they was watching it. All this shit is COINTELPRO, man. How they, the people that's trying to stop these people from doing what we doing.
Right. So when I come through and tell y'all I discovered this, a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying today. Yeah. But a lot of people do.
Yeah. A lot of people do in the comment. We got like 1,000 people on this joint.
When the system falls, you have to build a new system. Ain't no way around it. Unless you want the old system to stay, then you can stop everything and keep going about your day to day. But nobody won't just keep the same system because we all know it's fucked up. But when it comes time for us to do the necessary work, we frustrated because some of us been fighting for years by ourselves, and now we see an opportunity to get a little bit of help, and we want the problem fixed immediately, like a McDonald's burger right now.
Yeah, pull up. That's a type of mentality that Bible said. This type of mentality that these kids they want right now. How can this help me? Can I get it right now? I want it right now.
When you take process,
you know what I'm saying? That's how these niggas is.
Look, when you realize that everything, I don't care how big, even if it's a fast food burger, there's more work going into making the fast food burger than frying your own at home. You just don't know it because you getting it so fast.
Yeah.
They done went through markets and freezers and shipping and all of that to get to you right now.
Exactly.
That burger started probably 2 years ago before it ever get to your motherfucking window.
And it might was started all as a kid that got kidnapped. That's what it started.
Right. So when we neglect the process, right, we can't redeem the property.
Yeah.
Because the process is the system of redemption.
Yeah.
So organizing town by town, city by city, village by village, getting those mayor's seats of government into the hands of the matriarch of the town is the only way to raise the matriarchy from the ground up. This is a grassroots effort. Right? And if you look out at the mayors, they all grazing in the field. Right? So we got mayors grazing, but ain't none of them taking the lead of the pack. They all want their shit, but when you tell them the system, the process, the step-by-step of what to do, it looks too big.
It's like, you know, I let it out. I know she was like, I see how she ready. And she been like, I know what to do. I'm doing it to them, but they ain't responding like I want.
Right, because she's following the contract that ain't even in existence no more.
Yeah, so that's why they ducking her.
That's why they ducking her, because they can't let her recontract with the Pope, and because he had already been put on notice.
And look, man, I think her, like Tahuti always used to tell me, sometimes when we be asking questions, the answers be right in our face. And I thought about what she's saying. Look, she going to ask them to give her land. She already on the land. You ain't got to ask them nothing. What they telling you is what Elijah Muhammad tried to tell your ass. Go on, do for self. You on the land? All right, build it. Why you got to ask us for some money to do it?
Right, but see, if she was able to successfully execute that bid for that property, it comes with a developmental fund.
Yeah, okay.
All city governments have a developmental fund for the town.
Okay.
Right? You have the developmental fund under the legal fiction, and when the cap gets lifted is when the legal fiction fall and the matriarchy of the town take over.
So who do that lady go to get to say, okay, all right, the property is officially, I got it, and now give me the funds? How, like, who does she go?
They not gonna honor it. They don't have no money no more. Everything they had's been seized.
So she pretty much wasted her time then.
She beating a dead horse trying to get that motherfucker to win a race.
So she just do what Elijah Muhammad said and do for self. I'm with that.
Right, but the steps is simple, but they are busy. It's just an organizing effort. The shortcuts is local women's groups.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's your support system to reach out throughout the community in order to restore the matriarch of the town, which is the mayor.
No,
when all of the towns in any given state, because they got the states cut out to have it smaller areas to take over at a time. If we would have tried this before the Louisiana Purchase or right after the Louisiana Purchase, it would have caused a big conflict because the land was too broad open. We didn't have enough lines of demarcation to organize a grassroots effort that you can see.
Hey, you know something, exactly what you saying right now is why Larry Hoover in jail. Larry Hoover was going to organize to take over the gut, take over the mayor of the town, take over all it. He was headed in the direction where that's when they say, all right, we got to stop this nigga, man. He gonna be, if he take over the city, he gonna take over the state. If he take over the state, it's like a wildfire. So but I think Larry Hoover was after what this chick is after. Let me get this land. Let me bring my clan, the GDs. Shout out my GDs, my disciples on the land. The disciples is the ones that can read the signs. That's why they call them disciples. They disciple different shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're a circle. They're a circle. The G is on the circle. The G is inside of the circle.
And G is a 7-letter made. And the circle 7 is printed by Noble Drew Ali.
Exactly. See, they painted this shit out to be gang and criminal when they got the OGs out the streets, but it wasn't about that. It was about clan shit. It was clan shit to protect they was fighting back. It was a revolution, part of the revolution to get our land, to restore our land back. And like I say, I think Larry Hoover was doing the same thing this chick trying to do. And when he got the people together, he did she just going by herself. Larry Hoover wasn't doing it by himself. He's like, I'm gonna get these niggas together, the real gangsters, real street niggas, get them together, and we're gonna all come together, and we're gonna say, all right, we 51%. You gotta go. He gonna take the charters and all that. They don't know how smart Larry Hoover was. They got him painted as a criminal and he's a gang banker. They don't tell you that this dude was intelligent. This dude had the Jewish star.
I think he got something like 18 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, that nigga was high power intelligence. That's what
Hey, look, we talking about Larry Hoover and 21st Century Vote. If you listen to that Ghetto Boys album, with the song "World Is a Ghetto" on there, where Larry Hoover talking.
Yeah, I got it.
Right, and he say, "I'm trying to affect that 35% apathetic vote."
Right.
Right. So, what does apathetic mean?
It's the people that don't give a damn about voting.
They don't give a damn about voting.
Yeah.
Apathy.
Yeah.
The sense of not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Right, but it's also a defeated position. So the ones who thought they was losing, he was trying to galvanize them up into a winning force, into the 21st century vote.
Exactly.
Right, because when you can affect politics, you can change the way that the machine runs.
Exactly.
The problem is they had a contingency in place for anybody that tried to use their system to conquer their system.
The Matrix. You can't fight them in the Matrix.
Right. You got to make them come outside of their system.
Man, Morpheus said, he said, nobody has stood against the agents and won. But when Neo come, he can fight them. So nobody has stood up against an agent. He said, I ain't gonna lie to you, Neo. Nobody has stand against the agent and won. Because you fighting them with in their system. You can't beat them in their system. And
Neo was able to jump in and out of the system.
Yeah. And you remember, you know what I learned too on Reload? Well, okay, Neo was at the beginning, they was going to do a meeting, and then Neo said a deja vu. He said the agents are coming, tell them to run. And then they ran, right? So Neo stood there, he was fighting them. And then he thought about it. He said, man, I ain't gotta fight these motherfuckers. I'm gonna just fly off. Boom, took off. He sat there and fight them. He didn't even have to fight them people. See, that's how Tahuti teach people, man. Sometimes you don't gotta do some of the things you think you gotta do. It's an easier, quicker way to defuse everything. Instead of just sitting there and fighting all 100 niggas, 200-300 niggas, run. You know what I'm saying?
Look, even if, let's say, for instance, we don't get one city to follow the blueprint. But let's say that 20 cities is diligently trained. It's gonna have effect.
That's right.
It's going to bring communities together.
That's right.
It's going to override the divide and conquer.
That's right. That's right.
So even if they don't become successful, but somebody going to be successful, believe me, somebody going to follow the blueprint. They going to organize their town. They're going to relieve the mayor of the interim government capacity so that they can see the real mayor, right? And that real mayor is going to access the funds from FEMA and the services of FEMA to come in and get, and that's what's going to change everything on the dime. But the hard part is leading up to the first one accomplished. Everything looks impossible to somebody do it. Before Jesse Owens did it, they didn't think you could run a 4-minute mile.
Yeah.
But once he did it, shit, you got motherfuckers damn near running 2.5-minute mile. No, 50 years, 60 years later.
That's a good example, Rod. That's why they cut us off. That's why they cut us off from seeing how great we are. Because once we see that one great, it's gonna be somebody to try to beat them out, and that's make us greater. We started getting greater and greater till now. A nigga run a mile in 30 seconds. They don't want us to get to that point.
If the message get to one of these old ladies in one of these southern towns that everybody know, she gonna call to the church and say, send them girls down here. They're gonna go right down to the mayor's office and get the paperwork. It's gonna be that easy. Yeah. But in some of the bigger cities, it looks like a gigantic leap of an obstacle. Right? So it's gonna be a small town that do it first. Because everybody know everybody.
Yeah.
And when the first one do it and they do the press conference, because once you relieve the mayor of their interim capacity, you're supposed to hold a press conference to let the rest of the community know, the other tribes across the land similarly situated, what you have done to reclaim your town from the legal fiction. They're all interim governments. The only way to remove an interim government is to install a true government. The easiest way to do it is city by city, town by town. And once it's done, then it changes everything. When the first one happens, that's when it breaks that bind on the brain that it can't happen.
Hey, you know, they already doing it to us, bro. In a town my daddy live in called Houghton. The mayor, the chief of police, all like the 1, 2, 3 judges they got, like they only got like 5 or 6 police, all of them cousins. This one family run the whole town, and they ain't long look like us. You know what I'm saying? They run the whole damn town. Now, how does that happen? How does the judge? So they get in, they can pretty much move, and they moving shit in the town. The family moving that cream in the town, the police people, because they run the judge, the whole town. You know what I'm saying?
You remember Clinton was the governor.
Yeah. And
he was running drugs through all of the little towns in Arkansas.
Yeah. They put a movie out about that, and you know, he was working for the main guy, Big Bush.
Yeah, he was handpicked by George Herbert Walker Bush. Yeah. They were so close, they called him in D.C. his adopted son.
Exactly. Him, Obama, same thing.
Yeah. Obama was a CIA creation. He was a clone of Akhenaten.
Exactly. He was a clone of Antananka, and they go over there and they get these bones. Like I told them, they got the Jurassic Park for the Billionaires Boys Club, where they brought these animals back. They was giving some bones that they was finding like mosquitoes that were frozen in the ice that had been sucking on these different animals, or these back in thousands of years ago, right? Millions of years ago. And then they took the blood out of the ice, and then they would reanimate them from the bone tissue and DNA when they got to find the bones and shit. And so they put these beings on the island, and you could pay $200,000 to fly over there. They was taking trips there until that shit went sideways, because they ain't know how these beings are intelligent, how their intelligence is gonna play on it. But
that sounds like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's what it is. They got a Jurassic Park is a real place. But if you ain't in the Billionaires Boys Club, you think it's all TV and the movie. That's where they get it from. Jurassic Park existed before they put the movie out. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they used to have reports of trying to they didn't call it clone, twig a dinosaur. They called it twigging.
Yeah. Yeah. I put a tape out on it already where I showed all my receipts, how they was already cloning a mammal, really mammals and all that, and cloning sheeps and all that. They already doing it, man. Like
all that's old technology. They just learning how to use it in modern times, but it's old technology. They got cloning books that they got in the Sumerian tablets that's never been released to the public.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why they know how to clone.
I'm with you.
Right? There's a step-by-step instructional manuals to cloning.
Yeah.
Right? That's how they knew about electric shocks to an egg will stimulate it to grow without the sperm.
Yeah.
But it'll be female.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh yeah, that's what I forgot to tell you, Rod. Man, my brother, man, he said, man, they paying $5 for a shot for a semen shot up in there for brothers, man. And brothers selling it left and right up in there. And they on the job, they pay you like 10 cents, 14 to 30 cents a day, depending on how long you been on the job. But he said you could just stay at the jail and sell three shots a day. You know what I'm saying? That's $15. So why are they in there buying brothers' stuff, man? And they want to run your tests on you, make sure you got good stuff, and they picking the buck niggas, all the buck niggas in there. You know, the niggas that stroll all up.
You remember when they said Enki was coming back with the original blueprint for the human being?
Yeah.
The semen can tell them if the UVAs, the ultraviolet rays of the sun, is affecting us to take us back to because that's where the blueprint gonna come from. Our DNA is programmed to match a certain solar storms to activate. The solar storm is going to be triggered by the position of our solar system within the galaxy, and as it's going through its processes, it's going to change the overall environment in outer space, which in turns affect us down here on Earth. So the sun is going to send a message to the DNA that's going to tell the DNA, if you don't upgrade, you're going to get turned off.
Wiped out.
Yep. That's going to be the trigger for people that haven't been doing their shadow work. They're going to amp it up. They're going to just know. Because the sun's rays is telling us stuff all day long.
Yeah,
you know, and then when it's reflecting off the other planets in the solar system, it's still giving us messages all night. Right? So when these messages come in, we don't hear them. We don't see them. Sometimes we don't even physically feel them. But internally, something be like, hey, something's going on. I wonder what that is.
Yeah, I feel like that now. I feel like they know they lost. I feel like right now that these people that we've been talking about for I feel like the mental war, we won. I feel like we won right now. And right now, we dealing with the people letting them go, letting their system go, and we start building for ourselves now.
Right, that's Stockholm syndrome, learned helplessness.
Yeah.
Right, so we identify with this system. We've been in it our whole life.
That's right. That's right. You're right about that.
So when it comes time to change the system, it's spooky.
Yeah. Nigga, what can you do for us now? You gonna buy my kids a hamburger when you close McDonald's down, and we can't go to McDonald's? Nigga, you gonna kill a cow? You got some cows? They own all the cows. You got some cows? Are you gonna be able to get me a cow right now?
Well, it might not be instant, but I'm gonna tell you this: before this shit improve, everybody gonna get a rude awakening.
Yeah.
The Rude Awakening is going to be the pretext to the grand finale.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to trigger it? I don't know. I'm just giving information on process.
I think
people don't know how to organize. We don't know what need to be changed, so I had to go over the grievances. This is what we're complaining about.
Mm-hmm.
We complaining about kids getting killed in the street by other kids. Mm-hmm. This is the grievances.
Yeah, that's right.
The grievances is corporate greed. The grievance is political corruption, child abuse, child neglect, human sacrifice, human trafficking. All of these are the grievances.
Right.
So if we ain't prepared as a people, us, I ain't talking about nobody but us.
Yeah.
If we ain't prepared to receive and take the steps to reclaim what's rightfully ours, we ain't gonna never get it until we get prepared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
rip the Band-Aid off. Just rip the Band-Aid off and let the air hit that shit. Let it burn. You gotta let
rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah,
so before they can rip the Band-Aid off, whether anybody listen to me or not, it don't matter.
Yeah.
But before they rip the Band-Aid off, I got to walk through this process of reclaiming the land city by city and how you do it.
Yeah, we might do a part 2 to this because I think we got, and then we're gonna do a part 2 to this. And we're gonna actually just go through step by step process again. And because I feel like everybody's saying the right thing, we just got to put it all together in one big pile. But the paperwork thing, I don't know, man, because it's the Matrix. I think our answers, Mother Sophia Stewart told us how it was gonna happen, man, and how we gotta beat these people, these robots. We fighting against machines, man. We ain't fighting against real humans no more. We fighting against machines.
We ain't even fighting the machines. Now we fighting the program itself in the machine.
Yeah, that's right. We fighting the people who agree with the machines. They agree with them. They want to be robots.
They the ones running the machines program.
Yeah, the bots. The bots.
But they don't know they are. They running them. Look, from the time we was first sent to school till we graduated, the more educated we became, the more indoctrinated by the system we became.
Yeah, yeah.
It creates a side effect.
Yeah.
You cannot see how to step outside of the system because you're addicted to the system.
That's right.
When the first time you mentioned sobriety to a crackhead, and they ain't never heard nobody talking about them getting clean, it's outside of their realm of comprehension. They don't see no way possible for them to stop smoking this crack. But as soon as they see somebody that they know was in the same position they was in, that overcome the addiction, that tells them, maybe I can beat this shit.
Yeah, it can be done. I've seen it happen before.
And this is where we at. I'm explaining the process for people to get an understanding of they're gonna need to be involved in local government. There's no way around it. The only government that really counts is local government. That's the only government where the people actually have a say. The president is elected by the Electoral College. And they only gonna come down to 2 choices to choose between every time. State government at the governor's office, that's not properly placed either, because they not elected by a popular vote. They elected by most influential district. The most influential district don't even always have the most people.
That's right. That's right.
Because that was the case. The capital of Michigan used to be Detroit, but they moved it to Lansing. Because Detroit had a stranglehold on tribal politics. So when Detroit ran the state, it used tribal standards to run it. That's why all of the Detroit shit is slightly different from the rest of the state. They finally closed the Detroit Recorder's Court, right, in order to put a fully fictional judiciary in Detroit. That's why people used to be sentenced differently out of Detroit than any other city in the state. Right? The standard was different. When Engler came in and seized the Department of Education from Detroit, the Department of Education had a surplus, right? Engler took it and used the education. He said he was going to use some of the educational dollars for educating prisoners. You know what he did?
What?
He built another fucking prison with the money.
Dang. To lock more of the natives up. It's all game. Prisoners of war.
Right. See, John Engler was a pig farmer and one of the youngest legislators in the history of the state. And his only agenda was to bring jobs to the pig farming areas where they were none. They used prisons to build communities where the prisons at, and where prisons at whole communities popped up.
Damn. So fun. It's probably on. It's back pocket. Niggas back pocketing money, man. Everybody get up. I'm already I'm past the time now, man. It's already 12 o'clock. I hear 12:14. 12, 1, that's 3, 1 and 4, 4, 4 and 4 is another big mama flip. 4 and 4. Oh yeah, bro. I know. I got the language, bro. I'm learning the language. I'm learning.
Listen to you. 4 and 4 is 44. That's the angel flip.
Yeah, the angel flip. The angel flip. Ain't Big Mama number 13. That's what I was thinking when I was bringing the 1 and the 2 together. The 1 and the 2.
Yeah, 44 red is that's Chief Malik Angel Bay. 44 blue is Big Tuki.
Okay, all right. I'm with you. I'm learning the code. I'm learning the language. Hey, everybody get up out of here, man. Hey, if you want to show my brother Rod some love, we dropped his Cash App in the links, man. He don't do it for money, but if you want to show him some love, hit him on the Cash App, man. We got 1,000 people up in here. It might have been more than that. We about to get up out of here, man. We're gonna be back. Now, this right here was a wild one tonight because we actually we like these. This is live, baby. We learning live. We building live right here, man. And we like that sister to come on. We glad that sister came on so we could get some action. She gave us some action, man. You know.
Yeah, and another thing too, because she still got faith in their paperwork.
Yeah.
That's why she keep raising that paper up, saying it's right here on the paper.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep telling everybody the paperwork is just a trap. If you fall for the paperwork, you tying yourself right back up with the system.
You're incompetent. They know you incompetent.
Right. So the mayor in her town know that if she get a general consensus of that town, she got to get her lady the charter and the key, which will unlock all of the funds. But she can't get past the paperwork part because she knows she right according to the paperwork. So as long as this paperwork saying she right, the system is supposed to work a certain way and it's not working.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not working because the system is in transitional phases if they try to follow through with that.
I see exactly what you're saying.
They have to do it by a certain standard. A certain standard is they have to have a general consensus of mothers in the town. The mothers represent households. In other words, the majority of the people in the town has selected among themselves a mayor that's capable of relieving the interim government, and that's what unlocks the funds. Until you can assemble a town to relieve the interim government, the interim mayor, to replace it with a seating mayor, an actual mayor.
Yeah.
Then you can't overthrow them using their paperwork. It won't work.
Yeah.
You had to go to the tribal tradition. Okay, so the tribal standard is oral tradition, matriarchal rules. Matriarchal rules says that because the children is involved, the first voice that we need to hear is the women, the mothers, the matriarchs, right? If you can get them to agree that they done with that bullshit, they can run this government, then the legal fiction, that's the interim government, is no longer needed.
Okay.
When it's no longer needed, then the people of the town can relieve the interim government to establish a permanent government. None of these governments have been permanent.
Yeah, that's right. They all fictitious, artificial, you know, just it's a conjure. It's part of the conjure. People don't understand, right? That you end in a conjure. They neglecting that part too. That this was a spell casted on us to put us into the matrix. The matrix is a spell. The paperwork, all that, this is part of their spell to keep us. When you want to cut, when you start talking about signing paperwork and all that, you going into contracts with them. Are you trying to make business? You doing to trying to keep them in business? I think our only the people question they ask is when is it gonna end? Then since we got, I think in the end, once we stop participating in their game, once we say we don't want to play the game no more, we don't want no more contracts with you. We don't want to buy your business shit. We got our own business. Elijah Muhammad was doing it. I'm telling you, we would have listened to Elijah. We'd have been out. That's why they had to come in and kill Malcolm and make it look like the nation was crazy and all that, man. They knew this day was gonna come. And if we would have been prepared right now if we would have listened to Elijah. I'm telling you.
Well, the messenger was all wise, right, and exact. He knew what he was talking about. Yeah. But the people were so concerned about the doctrine that they couldn't see what he was building in front of their face.
That's what I'm fucking saying, man. They would have seen it. I seen it though. I see it now. Now with this tape helped me realize, okay, we going asking them if we would have been prepared. We had our own shit. We ain't got to ask them for nothing. All we got to do is say, hey, well, this is our shit. Now you got to prove that it's not. I don't got to prove to you that this my shit. You got to prove that this not my shit. See, look, she don't got to prove to them. This is what Raw is saying. She don't got to prove to them who she is. They got to prove that she's not. She don't got to send no paperwork with them. I am who I say I am. This is my shit. Now you prove that it's not. That's what we at.
And the momentum comes with the organizing of the community for your support system.
That's right. Yeah, that's why.
Right. So when we gave you the layout of a town, we giving you the layout of how to establish a grassroots campaign to overthrow a local government. Right. Once you get the majority of the people in the village to overthrow the government and to put in a seated government from ours, organic tribal government, right? Then it's a domino effect. This is what, do you remember the Hijra, Muhammad?
Say the name again.
The Hijra.
The Hijra, Muhammad. No.
That was the last time they had a matriarchal march.
Okay.
If you go to Google and type in Hijra, Hijrah, I think.
Real quick, let me see what I got on that. Let's see. Boom. All right. Hold on, just a second. Yeah, man, I knew it. I knew Elijah was on something. I knew that they ain't sent him for no reason. He was trying to get us to where we gonna get to ask them for nothing. We would have been at this point. We would have just told them, hey, y'all just. We would have been boom. It would have been over with. The war would have been over with right now. If we would have, I'm telling you, it would have been over with.
So in Islamic time, they count from the last Hijra.
Okay.
So in the Islamic calendar, I think we like in some like 14 AH. Yeah. I mean after Hijra.
Okay. How you spell
it? Hijrah, I believe.
Yeah, that's it right there. I got you. It's called The Hijra, Hajj. It's the same that like the Hajj, right? Was a journey to its Islamic prophet Muslim Muhammad and his followers from Mecca to Medina. The year in which the Hajj took place also identifies as the equinox of the lunar Hajj land, solar Hajj calendar. The date equals to 16 January 62. I mean 602. That is AD in the Julian calendar. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So when this
I know this
event
is hard.
happened, this is when the elephants was marching on Mecca.
Okay.
And when they was, what was it, Medina? I can't remember. It was one of them. They was
Yeah.
marching from one to the other.
Mhm.
And the elephants was marching in, and then they was under attack. And then they say Allah sent these birds in that dropped pellets on the enemy.
Yeah.
And made them break out in sores.
Yeah, extra reckless. Shit, extra reckless shit. Yeah, man. We gotta get in. Yeah, I'm about to get ready to get off, man, because I'm already, my phone about to go dead. So yeah, man, and we're gonna come back on this. We gotta go do a part 2 on this.
Yeah, we try to condense it and make it more step by step, because it's like people think I'm telling them an instant gratification. I don't have no instant solutions.
Yeah,
all of the solutions require work. That's how I had to go through all of that work just to figure out what the solution was.
Yeah, the people stuck on young generation stuck on everything gotta be right now. You better with your head, you ain't talking about it. You ain't, what can it help?
They not bad as our educated people.
Yeah, right.
Because our educated people believe that this system is the glory of God.
Oh man.
They believe in this system more than they believe in themselves. Because they got a degree from this system that validated who they was, or at least who they thought they was.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I like the way the system set up. I just don't like.
Oh, that's my girl. I be checking her out. I see how she's struggling with them people, and I'm trying to explain to her why they ain't listening to her, and she don't want to hear that. She just wanted to listen.
You want to choke? I need to go down here and choke. I need to choke a motherfucker, knock her teeth out. She want to go. She want to get busy.
Yeah, because the sisters is these women is ready to get their shit. They don't know how to get it. I just got to tell them how to get it if they want it. Now, the irony of it is whether they successful in the attempt or not, we just need somebody to try.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's going to move the energy from under that dependency energy to sovereignty energy. People think it's easy to be a sovereign being. It's not. Because you're responsible for to participate in all forms of your local government. And the ones that become really skilled at it, they become problem solvers for the nation. They send them to DC when they're supposed to be going to Philadelphia. Right? So that's where we at with it. We gotta understand that it's a process. It's not instant gratification. The women can have their power back, but they got to join forces.
Man, they want King Kong, Sky Baby to go right up. They want, come on up here to California, King Kong, so you can go up in here and bust this male upside the head and then sit me right there. And they want it to happen in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, it don't work. Yeah, I would like to do that too, Elder, but it don't work like that. That's not a process.
That shit sound good. Like, it sound good when you say it on camera and shit, but it ain't really like that in real life. It sounds
the real life don't never work how we want it to work. It work how it works. We don't always like that. We have to follow steps to get to certain goals.
Before I get out of here, I'm gonna show you this clip, and I want you to tell me what you think about it. This is the last thing we're gonna do right here. It's a clip about King Kong. Now it might be going along what we talking about right now. This clip. I said, man, look at this. He was inside of an artificial simulation of thing. Let me show you. And then this little girl, I said, damn, that's some alchemy right there. I said, I'm gonna get Raw to see what's going on that. They doing some tricky shit right here when they get that girl. But hold on, let me show you. This shit is crazy. And then King Kong is smart. He knew that they had him in a matrix. So then he said he woke up to do it. He woke up to get to man. I'm telling you,
That's
I
when
said
he
this
threw
that's
that
Raw
thing
right there,
at
bro.
the ceiling.
Yeah. I said that's Raw right there, man. Raw figured out that them niggas got him in they trying to put him in a simulation. And watch this right here. This shit was gangster, man. I said, oh yeah, I gotta watch this one. I ain't never seen King Kong versus Godzilla. But they put this one right here at the beginning. Hold up. Clip it out. They try to copy. I don't think they're gonna copy right now, though. Look at him. He's sitting right here. Watch this. Okay. That shit fire, man. Like he found out they was in a sim. I'm gonna go watch that movie. He said, which one you want me to type in?
Type in Truman Show.
Truman Show. Yeah.
Hold on.
That shit was fire. Kong found out they had his ass in a simulation.
Right, final scene.
All right. Let's see what we got. But that shit was hard. I'm about to watch that movie for sure.
Now remember what you just saw.
Okay, all right. Truman Show, the end scene world.
Yeah, that's it.
Right there. This shit is crazy, man. They got us in a simulation. Man, we already did the hologramic game. It's a simulation. It's a matrix.
Venture X is your ticket. You'll get up to $300.
Let's see.
In annual travel credits when you.
All right. That boy Jim Carrey's the alchemist.
Jim Carrey's the truth, dog. That's my guy. You playing Joe Biden and shit.
He one of us. Yeah, he one of us. He just looked. He albino. He came up with wings and all that. Living color.
Now you notice on this one ain't no trees.
He wasn't been
look where he at.
blowing a whistle. Yeah.
He like, what in the hell going on here?
Yeah.
Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Here we go. Whoa, here we go. See what it say?
The whole time to the simulation. I gotta watch this movie. I want to watch this movie tomorrow. Oh, they hitting them with the Wizard of Oz. Oh, them niggas go.
They watching him find the end to the Matrix.
I'm about to watch this shit. The whole movie.
It's just scene jumping. But you saying he went up to the stairs?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch this whole dang movie. So I ain't never
You
heard of
remember
this
when
movie.
King Kong was laying down, right?
Yeah,
If you go to the trailer for the movie Troll,
yeah.
you will see the troll is getting up out the mountain the same way King Kong just did.
Yeah. I remember we watched it the last one. Yeah.
Okay, if you go to the story of Sun Wukong,
Uh-huh.
the priest named Tipikaka, which was a female, who was masquerading as the priest, who went and got the Monkey King, and she whispered the magic words, and he broke out of the mountain.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, now you remember in the Bible, and it said that the Holy Roman Empire, the final kingdom would be made of iron and clay,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And that a single stone would be hewn from the side of a mountain and strike the feet of iron and clay and bring down the whole Holy Roman Empire. This is touch. All of those are telling the same story.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. That's my brain.
Now, if you familiar with the Monkey King's Sun Wukong, you just might be familiar with the Ramayana. If you type in Ram, Prince Ram, it's the story of a blue prince in India who get exiled, and he was the heir to the throne. That's the human form of the totem of the Monkey King.
We're gonna probably go over this next, man. My brain, my body is about to get ready to go to the astro round. My battery low because I've been up a long time since 5 o'clock this morning.
It's ROM, not RUM.
First of all. They got Prince up there. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm about to get up out of here, bro. Yeah, okay. What I was gonna say, my brain's starting to wind down now. I took in too much information that I've been studying all day since 5 o'clock. I took in a lot of information. Then okay, all right. So yeah, man, peace and love, Islam, hotel, divine love through the outer balance universe to all. We're gonna be back, man, because this right here, I think we're gonna get back to this right here on this part.
We got a whole lot of stuff to go back over
right here. Yeah, because we ain't get we got threw off a little bit because I like the sister energy, but we got it's like
I'm with her. I know what she means. She ready to tear this motherfucker up.
Yeah, she ready to blow. So I'm like, it's war. Like, ain't no else. Like, she at the point where, I feel her energy, yo. So we out.
Yeah, but if we ain't ready to relieve these people they duties, then we ain't ready for our shit.
Yeah,
that's simple.
And we would have listened to Elijah, we would have been ready. I'm telling you.
Yeah, this would have took 2 days if we listened to Elijah at this
already
point.
Been set up. We ain't had to do it. All we had to do is just say it. If we would listen to Elijah, we had to say it now because we already have all our own shit. We don't need you for nothing. All we needed you is to leave us alone. That's what we need. Leave our stuff.
But the problem is the reason why we didn't listen to Elijah, the reason we didn't listen to Noble Drew Ali, and the reason we didn't listen to Marcus Garvey, all of them gave us equally potent blueprints.
Yep, that's right.
But the reason we ain't listen, because it was some niggas in there that look like us, that's not us, that had an alternative agenda to mislead us on purpose.
Yeah, make him talk about the girls that he messed with. To forget about what he trying to set up. And
they didn't care nothing about them girls. It didn't have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It was about they didn't want us because we are righteous people by nature.
Yeah.
So all they have to do is, because we are righteous people by nature, is find any indiscretion to blow out of proportion.
Yeah.
without understanding the process,
Yeah.
and it can use that to disgrace any leader they don't want us to follow.
Yeah. Everybody.
Anybody that is actually for us, doing anything for us, they're gonna try to remove them so that we're not listening to them.
Exactly.
So if we ain't listening to our own, we're gonna have to listen to the enemy, and the enemy is gonna tell us how to be a good working slave and wonderful subject under their jurisdiction.
Yeah, yes, sir. Coos will be good nigga for master, sir.
That shit.
Yes, sir.
And most of us believe we militant until it's time to do the most peaceful shit to take over.
Yeah.
Organize and capitalize.
Hey, that's what I'm all about.
Organize the community and capitalize on that organization by taking them seats of power.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say today, I got it.
Hey, peace. We out. Islam, Hotel, Ashug, divine love throughout the boundless universe. Hey, thank you for coming out with us, YouTube.